important game, because if Latin America North win, that means Japan and Turkey will end up locked into the final day bracket. So very important game, because if Latin America North want any chance to make it to tomorrow, they have to win this game.
And you can also see Southeast Asia, they're currently fighting with Brazil for that final spot from Team Fire. So they have to kind of pick up the win here, and also later on in the day against Oceania if they want to be the ones that advance for Team Fire. Let's go through the rosters for this match. It's going to be starting with Team Fire's Vietnamese All-Stars from the GPL. Up in the top lane, it's going to be QTV. Levy will be heading into the jungle. In the mid lane, it'll be OP Optimus, with the AD carry and support being Celebrity and Ron OP.
There's a lot of OP in the name, so we'll see whether they can be OP on the Rift, because they have to face down their opponents representing Team Ice Latin America North. In the top lane is Porky. In the jungle is Odi. Mid lane, Sia. AD carry is Evan RL with their support Nazul.
This is going to be an exciting match between Latin America North here and Southeast Asia. There's a lot on the line for these two teams, all of them trying to find a way to get into day 4 of IWCA and fight for that spot in the All-Star Invitational.
So let's go through a little bit of housekeeping. There is a restricted champion pool. We don't have every single thing available. There are a couple of champions that really not so great. I was telling you earlier about Alawi. I once went into just a regular one for all and was like, this is going to be great. There's going to be tentacles everywhere. And she's restricted by the proximity between tentacles, so you can only have like 2, even if there's 5 Alawi. So that's one of the champions that I'm not expecting to see. There's a whole host of others that aren't available, but we've still got the likes of the Blitzcranks there, the Gangplanks we've talked about, and I'm sure we'll see something else come through that we just hadn't thought about.
Yeah, we have things like Thresh that could possibly come up. We saw Zach earlier in the playtest. Unfortunately, they can't pick up each other's bloblets, so that wasn't really exciting. But enough of that, we're about to get into Champion Select for the first match of One for All.
And of course, it is lottery pick here. So if you end up with a majority of 3 out of 5, you will automatically get that champion for your team. However, if everybody locks in one different champion, we get to random, and it doesn't mean there's that unity of a team picking everything. So we are going through the initial few seconds of the draft before people will choose. This is them just deciding what they want to pick and what they want to take away.
You know, some people might not quite, they might think, you know, these are teams, they're going to pick as a team, they're going to pick all 5 champions, and they're all just going to get that champion they really want. But we heard from CIS earlier, they were saying how they don't quite know what they want to play yet, and they're just going to go into the match itself and pick what they want to pick right there and then. So there's a possibility we could get that lottery pick coming out.
There is a possibility. I'm just kind of laughing. You alluded to a playtest that we were doing earlier just to make sure everything works. There was like 5 Threshes. That's kind of a scary thing. The Lux that was being talked about. Everybody's talking about Ezreal. That is the one pick. Everybody's saying, this is the one. It's going to be played time and time again. And I don't really want to see 10 Ezreals 4 times today. I really want something different.
Well, who knows? There is that possibility. I mean, like you said, can build absolutely everything. In fact, we've seen him play tank before as well, but we're back into Champion Select, and they're already looking to pick something up. It seems like Southeast Asia know exactly what they want to play here today.
Now, here's one I hadn't thought of. Rise, 5 Realm Warps. You can just be anywhere on the map. Now, the Lee Sin is what you're alluding to, and so there's not too much analysis to go into One for All, but melee champions have one heck of a drawback in that you cannot really siege. You have to kill and then dive and hope you kill them with enough health that you can take towers down. So it looks like we're going to have Graves versus Lee Sin.
You can even see Evan RL, he's locked in, right? He's like, guys, I want this, but 0% chance he's getting that because Graves has been locked in for Team Ice. Graves against Lee Sin. My goodness.
This might be the least useful set of smoke grenades ever seen. Ah, dear. Well, I mean, Southeast Asia are just going to go ham for this entire game.
Southeast Asia do love their Lee Sin. I mean, they had SOFM, who was famous for his Lee Sin. Levy's had a few good games on it so far at IWCA, so big shout out to the junglers from Southeast Asia here.
But, I mean, think about it on the other side. The LATAM North team, 5 collateral damages. That execute damage, if somebody, like, steps out of line, it's going to be like the broadside of a ship firing off.
Oh my goodness. And Graves, you know, he's a champion that's been seen playing in quite a few roles. We've seen him in the jungle, we've seen him top lane. You know, he can be played as an AD carry. That's what people thought he was going to be after the rework, kind of. Support smoke screenish. I do know one thing's for sure. There's going to be a lot of armor in this game, Stress.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a good point. Graves just inherently has an advantage here from the fact that he can just build armor against Lee Sin. We'll have to see if anybody tries to go, like, any form of non-AD Lee Sin. I don't really know how effective that's going to be, but...
There's always that possibility. We'll have to see. It's going to be a bloodbath, I feel, though, because these are two champions that are just always out for blood, and we're about to get onto Summoner's Rift for the match. Head over to @LOL Esports to vote for your favorite team to win here. Use the hashtag SEAWin or the hashtag LANWin.
So you'll see it when we load in. This is going to be a lot easier to tell who is on the LATAM North team, because Southeast Asia have all gone for Muay Thai Lee Sin. Good luck with this one, Fish.
This is going to be interesting.
Oh, dear.
Oh, my goodness. We're getting on to Summoner's Rift for the first one for all match here. Just look at him run out in a straight line. The Muay Thai Lee Sin's already stressed.
Oh, you're never going to know. The best camouflage. This is it's like Attack of the Clones at this point.
And I think I was talking to you earlier about this. When I like to commentate, I like to talk about the champions themselves. So now it's like, oh, there's only one on each team. Oh, no, don't start this.
We got some biscuits. That's...
They're all just laughing.
Oh, dear. SEA. This is going to be a fun game, I think. To stack as 5, they'll never know which one's the real Lee Sin.
Team Ice is currently stacked
QTV.
up. They don't know. They've checked one brush.
Oh,
They're going to
they're
go
going!
in. Look at all the Qs going out from both.
They all
champions,
missed!
but none of them decided to go in.
They all missed. You got to fan them out. Spread out. Everybody fire at a different angle, and you'll start catching them. You can't fire it all in one line.
Oh, we can take a look at the starting items here. I mean, Triple Doran's Blade on the side of Team Fire. Never Targon's Brace. Seems like we have a support. Lee Sin from Ron OP. Both of them have a jungler. The rest of the Graves just have picked up all their Doran's Blades.
It would have felt pretty bad for Nazul if he was in a game as Graves and they're still like, no, you need to start Ancient Coin. you need just to give us mobility. Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh, no.
I hope you remember the 5 Ds of Dodgeball here. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Oh,
Ron OP
clearly missed that message because he just takes a chunk of damage there.
This is going to be fun. Just the number of Qs, the Sonic Waves coming out. I'm looking forward to as we get a couple of items.
Well, we just got a chance to take a look at the Keystone Masters as well. Thunderlords for every single Lee Sin. For the side of the Graves, they've got 2 Thunderlords and 3 Warlords Bloodlust for the 3 carry lanes.
Now, I wonder how SEA are going to play this. Are they going to do like the circle of safeguards where you just kind of dance around in a circle for a while? Or is it going to be the case if they kick one person back and they conga line him all the way back into their base? Just constantly kick them in a straight line, get them back, and just pick off one Graves.
Well, that is a definite possibility for the Lee Sins here.
I don't know whether it's the best strat because you've just used 5 ultimates and like everything else on taking out one person.
If you kill somebody, then it's kind of worth it.
Yeah.
As they say.
Kind of. You can see the difficulty of playing Lee Sin in lane against a ranged champion here.
Yep.
In all 3 lanes.
Yep, bottom lane's having a little bit of a difficult time. They're keeping up in CS quite nicely to start things off. We can already see Ron OP's burnt through his health potions after the initial chunking he got at level 1. Levy trying to make his way towards the mid lane for a gank on towards Saya. Optimus now going to try and chase him down. He safeguards over towards the ward. Does get the slow down, but Saya does get behind his minion ward.
Levy was trying to hold on to the Sonic Wave just until he gets into the lane so he could maybe try and follow up after a flash or a quick draw, but wasn't to be. We didn't really note on the summoner spells too much yet. Sia is actually running teleport from the mid lane as well, so a little bit of extra map presence for these Graves. We'll see how they can end up getting into the lane. This could be a tricky spot because if you sit under the tower bot side, could be a tough one.
Levy's going back in though. Optimus has hit that Q. Now Saya forced to flash away into his minion wave again, so Levy returning into that mid lane.
And meanwhile, we were watching Oddie down in the bottom side at the same time. If Celebrity and Ron OP stay under this tower, they have a fair amount of mobility, but remember that Q will detonate instantly if it hits the tower. So if they stick in the wrong spot, they've spotted out Oddie. He should be fine.
Oddie does move the Grump camp. The Krug camp back in towards the brush just so he can take it out without being spotted. He does make his way down towards the bottom lane. Levy's down here as well just to kind of defend this TRředC team. Smoke screen's going to come out, deny some of the vision, but they should be able to farm up AOK. In fact, Celebrity ahead in CS against Evan RL.
Yeah, and just purely because of how the wave was kind of shoved in, Evan had to be very careful. Optimus, now, if he was 6 with Ignite, he would 100% go for that. Just from having the QR damage plus the Ignite would be enough to kill Seiya there, because there's no flash, so can't avoid the ultimate, but only at level 4, so not able to go through. And here's Seiya's laning advantage. Well, not lane advantage, map advantage with that TP.
Used the teleport to get back into his lane, has picked up 2 longswords as well as a couple of health potions for himself. You can see Optimus has gone back to base, got himself boots, as well as another Doran's Blade.
Everybody is going to go Thornmail at this rate. Like, just everybody. We're going to have a lot of Dead Man's Plate in this game. Just stack armor, and eventually people just won't die, and I guess the Graves will just push the lanes
Slowly
and win
push.
at like 50 minutes.
Saigon, GPL team here has a lot to do to try and get in on this one, because with that range advantage in the early game, it's definitely helping the Graves out. But so far, Latin America North not been able to do too much. Seiya is going to quick draw in towards his turret, make sure Optimus takes a hit before he gets back into his lane.
And Optimus isn't doing a bad job, considering he's even on CS, even despite that teleport coming through. So holding at a decent spot. And the Lee Sins have started to kind of catch up a little bit on a lot of the farm game. Nazul, smoke grenade will catch both. Oh, gets the double cancel. That's satisfying.
Perfect smoke grenade from Nazul. He's got back into lane, has 3 long swords for himself. You were mentioning we're going to see a lot of Thornmail. I think before the Thornmails come out, we're just going to see a lot of swords between all these carries on both the teams.
That's true. A lot of swords, which I don't know how that works with a shotgun, but apparently it does.
When he's got 2 bullets, he just puts 1 long sword into each of the chambers, fires those out. Celebrity choosing not to go back to base here after Nozul cancelled it, getting a lot of damage down, but not enough mana to quick draw another time to get into Celebrity's face.
Now, if Celebrity has this happen again in a level or so's time, he's dead. Because 2 collateral damages, X is going to mark the spot there, and it's going to spell the end. Of course, that execute on it as well makes it real good at just taking him out. Seiya just walks in.
Optimus flashing forward, trying to get the kickback, but Seiya quick draws in time. Now Levy taking a lot of damage from the Thunderlords. Oddie will quick draw over the wall. Damage misses, and he missed the second one as well. Splits the wickets there twice as Oddie and Seiya will not be able to pick up a kill.
Oh dear. That was, as you said, between, splits the wickets. I'm not good with cricket. Something about a googly woogly at that point, but tower's nearly down in the bottom lane. Evan RL's got to be careful.
He's taking a lot of damage from the turret there. Ron OP able to micro his way out of a lot of the damage that came up from the 2 Grays, but that bottom lane out of turret incredibly low. Optimus now going very aggressive on towards Oddie. Managed to land the Sonic Wave.
See, this is the one. If he had the kick now, that would be when he's going in with that Ignite. But they used it, didn't get the kill. A lot of ults whiffed to begin with this. So Optimus and Levy go in, try and get Seiya, but Seiya quick draws away just at the right time and actually beats the flash kick at that point, so isn't able to stay on target with that. Oh, that's so... Levy! Oh, Levy's dodged down right in the mind of Oddie. He was... That's sad.
Live with less than 100 health as well. We can see a couple of the champions have gone back to base and picked up their first set of items. QTV is gone for the Tiamat. See the Caulfield's Warhammer being picked up by Levy in the jungle. Optimus yet to go back to base for his second back, still sitting on his double Doran's Blade. We would see the Phage being picked up by Celebrity in the bottom lane. Optimus again being very aggressive towards Seiya, but Oddie is waiting in the wings with red buff. Levy's here as well. Hits the Sonic Wave, decides not to follow up against the Team Ice opponents, but Oddie now taking a lot of damage. Ooh! Q's going to come out and deal quite a bit of damage down over towards Optimus. There's the ultimate. There's the kill. As now there's action in the bottom lane. QTV will kick back Nazul. There's teleports coming in, but they're quickly cancelled. Evan RL's trying to get the heck out of there because Levy's down here. Gets the kickback, gets the Sonic Wave, and it's 2 kills for the GPL team in the bottom lane.
Despite the TP presence being for Team Ice, it's actually the 4-man down in the bottom side that ends up picking up 2 kills. So 2-for-1 trade overall. That was an important sequence because you can see how low on the minimap the health of that blue tower in the bottom lane is, so it was an important save on that. Oddie, gotta be careful, didn't get the kick! Ron OP, that was less than your namesake, my friend.
Got right behind Oddie, but was not able to get the Dragon's Rage off to kick him back. They do get some decent damage on towards the turret, but now Oddie's going to be able to defend that one quite nicely.
I mean, supports, I guess, don't really have a whole lot of time playing Lee Sin, and it is one of the more mechanically...
Well, this is a man that made himself famous in Vietnam for being an assassin player. You'd expect a little bit more from him there.
That's fair. I mean, the kick flash kick, you kind of expect it, but I mean, who knows? At that point, that was the mid lane kill going through. Nazul gets stopped and shut down pretty heavily in that bottom side, and then Evan RL trying to run for his life, kick back, and that was all she wrote down in that bottom side. So again, despite the double kill going down, the tower pushing potential for these ranged champions, the Graves, is still there, and they will get first turret blood.
Yep, the first brick will be taken down in the bottom lane. Bottom lane out of turret falls for Latin America North. It's 2-1 on the scoreboard at the moment, but LAN does have 1,000 gold advantage from that first turret kill. Seiya and Optimus trading blows in this mid lane, neither one too afraid of the other.
And now we see the siege.
Oh no, here
it's going to be 4 Graves in the mid lane.
Here come the Graves. They push on towards this mid lane outer turret. Ron OP is in the mid lane. There's the smoke screen trying to deny some vision. Sonic Wave comes in. There's a bit of damage. Ron OP, you're a little bit overzealous there, buddy. Has 2 collateral damage taking him down. All the Lisa's in there. They're being kicked left, right, and center, knocking into one another. A Celebrity's in amongst it. Another kick comes out. Evan RL is forced to flash away. The Ignite goes down. Celebrity picks up that kill. Seiya's trying to run, but gets tagged by the Sonic Wave. They're going back in. Celebrity's trying to take him down, but he's taking turret damage.
Celebrity!
Just not quite enough, and it's a double kill for Seiya. 2 Graves less, and 3 Lee Sins left up alive.
3 for 3 overall. Madness in the middle lane. The turret goes down in favor of Latin America North, and they just pushed that one through, but then the sheer fighting potential, the mobility and the damage that comes out in a team like this, in a fight like this. Man, Ron OP, if he'd have been able to maybe do a little more in the beginning before he got taken out, this could have been a better fight for Team Fire. The double kick comes in, the old switcheroo, and it looks like Fire are winning this as they get a lot more damage out onto Evan RL, but they kite back and end up being put under the pressure a lot more as Seiya gets himself away and ends up being a little bit of a dance under the turret. Seiya had just too much damage for Celebrity to chunk through, and not a whole lot more that they could do in that situation.
Yeah, the Warlord's Bloodlust in a dangerous game for Seiya, keeping himself alive underneath that turret. It's now 5-4, still in favor of the GPL team, but with that second turret kill, Latin America North are 2,000 gold up ahead of the GPL squad. Up in the top lane, Nazul has moved up here.
Oh, bottom lane.
Out, but Seiya's in a lot of trouble. Thunderlords comes out.
TV's coming through.
There are teleports coming down as well. The kicks come out. Both Resident Strikes will come in as well. Seiya will fall. The teleport was used by Borky. He's been exhausted. That is 3 Lee Sins on top of it. He's going to be kicked in 2 directions, but he will eventually get taken out. Oh, will he? Waiting for the energy. Celebrity comes back in and gets another kill.
And that's Team Fire getting a double kill down in the bottom side, but they're losing their top tower at the same time. They're about to push in. Optimus is zoned away in the mid tower, so this is the real difficulty here, is if they cannot take towers after they win. Evan RL,
whoa, Optimus.
He's just dead. Wow.
Absolutely deleted.
If the team representing SCA can't, you know, take towers after they get the kills, it's almost impossible for them to hold on to the map. They can get super far ahead, but the problem is all Team Ice have got to do is start grouping and pushing down towers faster and faster, and as long as they can avoid a prolonged fight, they should be okay.
It definitely should be. You can see lots of Vampiric Scepters being picked up on the side of Team Ice. Finally, Team Fire will be able to take down their first turret of the game. They'll be able to get some decent damage on towards the mid lane outer turret as well. So slowly trying to even up the gold disadvantage from those 3 turrets taken by Latin America North.
Not only the Vamp Scepters, we got the Ninja Tabi coming out for everybody as well. This is going to be a tanky game by the end of this. Graves getting all of that extra resistance just to try and last longer in the fights.
And we see Porky moving up into the top lane, defending his top lane outer turret. Optimus going back in against Seiya, but he doesn't see Oddie and Azul close by. Will safeguard on over towards a minion and get back to the safety of his side of the map. As 3 members of Graves just slowly rotate around the river. Neither team has really looked towards the Dragons just yet. Ocean Dragon was the first one to spawn in this match.
I want to see more collateral damage lineups. That's what I want to see. I want to see just the barrage go off, the 21 gun salute at that point.
I want to see more multi-direction kicks, because that was really interesting to watch. You know, you fly halfway in one direction and suddenly change and go to the left.
There is a lot to watch when that's happening. I'm going to be honest, when you're looking at like what is happening in a team fight and 5 people just fly in different angles, it's not the easiest thing to keep a track of.
It's definitely not, but it is a very beautiful sight to behold. It's the first dragon of the game will fall to the GPL squad. They pick up the Ocean Dragon here.
Picking up the Ocean Dragon. Now, I want to see the LATAM North team picking up the pace a little bit because, you know, we kind of criticized them a little bit in the Summoner's Rift game and in the Assassin's mode that they sat back when Audi wasn't really able to do too much. And I don't want them to fall into the same kind of trap because that's when they're going to get dove by 5 Lee Sins all at the same time. They need to be the ones actively trying to create pressure on the map. But you can see now the Lees are going top lane. There's 3 of them going up there. Oh, the ward just died as well. Oh, Porky.
He's going to be able to quick draw over towards his turret. Ron OP hits him with the Sonic Wave, trying to kick him backwards, but Levy will follow up with a kick of his own. Porky's in a lot of trouble, trying to quick draw in amongst his minion wave, taking a lot of damage over time from the red buff. The final Sonic Wave connects. The damage will be just enough for Levy as they take down Porky, but Audi is a little bit angry. Meanwhile, Celebrity and NGàY going toe-to-toe. Collateral damage will come out. Celebrity is going to be able to kick it backwards. The Unite is ticking. One more attacks it up, but he doesn't even need to do just that as he looks at him, and NGàY will fall down.
And in these small-scale fights, you can see the LATAM North team are just struggling to kind of match the pressure when it comes to 3 people diving top lane. The rest of the team's kind of moving from mid to top side to rescue him, but it's not in enough time, and that leaves NGàY in a lot of danger down in the bottom lane. Despite having Death's Dance completed already, just gets taken out. 1 versus 1 by Celebrity, who just walks right through him.
Meanwhile, Optimus and Audi, they fancy a fight here. Not much energy left for the Lee Sin. Collateral damage is going to come out, but the end of the line is not going to come back and hit Optimus.
Needed another auto to come through on that one. So this is Nazul in the middle lane. Did Optimus just walk in and kill him? We didn't see this on the main screen, or is it Optimus going too far? Oh, ooh, the Ignite got him. The Sonic Wave, maybe if the Ignite hadn't got him, would have been enough if it was on target.
Well, still Latin American North, they're 3 turrets up to 1, but they're now behind in gold. The GPL squad have some outer turrets to take down if they can get a couple of kills on over towards Team Ice's side of the map. The mid lane outer turret is incredibly low. Ron OP trying to walk away from 3 graves here that are slowly scaring him out of the river.
Yeah, that's a pretty scary sight. I'm not gonna lie. Nazul, I don't know really whether they want to take that Q. There's a lot of those minds telling me no situations in this game where you got 4 graves in front of you.
Oh, that's a big kick coming out from Optimus. Knocks 1 Graves into 2. Quite a bit of damage coming out there.
But they're just going to push the mid tower through. They're probably going to end up losing some damage on bottom tower, but TP comes through to hold it.
Yeah, Porky actually teleporting in towards the bottom lane. Now Levy trying to get a flank over here. Audie's incredibly low. Kicks him into Audie. Gets the Sonic Wave as well, but he's been exhausted. Not going to follow up with the resonating strike. But a nice flanking play there. Meanwhile, Porky's being caught up by Celebrity. He's going to be able to quick draw over the wall, but a quick flash comes through by Celebrity to chase him forward. Hits the Sonic Wave. Flash away from Porky. He's trying to heal up. It doesn't connect, and he's out of energy. Porky's going to heal.
He's
got so much life steal from that death stance. Celebrity just has to run away. Saya now in a lot of trouble. He's been exhausted. Thunderlords is going off. He's trying to get back towards his turret. Going to be able to dodge 1 Sonic Wave. Will get slowed down by the cripple from Optimus, but Saya somehow escapes that one.
This is a ridiculous game. It is all about kiting, the Lee's not being next to the walls, the Graves moving back, trying to quick draw away and life steal himself back up before they die. Nazul!
Oh, they're flashing forward, but the Sonic Wave is going to connect with NGàY. Doesn't hit the low health Graves. Saya now trying to jump back in. Ron OP safeguards towards a minion. They do not decide to use their collateral damage there.
Oh, NGàY had his ult, but not confident in the damage that he was doing because they've all gone Death Stance first. It's not exactly the most high damage item. They've gone for survivability over the ability to just kill.
And everyone on their team has decided to do just that, except for Audi at the moment.
Yeah, Audie's gone for the red smite, trying to just duel a little bit. Saya Gotta be careful.
Bit of trouble. Gets kicked back into Celebrity. The alley-oop from the GPL team as he picks it up with his own Dragon Rage.
Oh, that was a sweet double kick. Just comes through. Oh, QTV.
He's going to knock NRL into a Sonic Wave. Levy's gone here, but Nazul's there. Pops the pellets into his face. Now that's the Graves that are chasing on towards the Lee Sins.
A little too deep on that play. Levy thought he was okay. Thought he had the drop on NRL. Meanwhile, again, mid lane.
Yeah, the Lee Sins are waiting sneakily inside of the brush. They safeguard over towards a ward to try and get behind Nazul. He pops down the smoke grenade, but it doesn't catch either of the Lee Sins. So they're just going to be able to clear out the waves in the mid lane. GPL squad really wants this mid lane outer turret to fall. It is incredibly low. A couple more pushes would be enough to take that one down.
Yeah, a little longer, though, on that time before it goes down. I'm being told that Optimus is living up to his team, well, his nickname. He's currently got around 35% of his team's damage done. So he's really been laying down the damage onto Seiya in that mid lane. We were looking at the early laning phase, and he was always getting Seiya low. Couldn't quite get the kill on a lot of the early phases, but since then, 3 kills to his name. He's the one with the death stance on the SEA team.
You can already see the rest of Team Ice. They're grouping up in that mid lane, trying to defend that turret. Ron OP looking to try and take down a blue buff for himself, but is spotted out by a control ward. Gets a little bit of vision inside of Team Ice's jungle. Oddie will quick draw over the wall and try and stop him from taking the blue buff away.
Now, what would be pretty catastrophic for the SEA squad is if these Graves pick up Mountain Drake. Their ability to push is good enough already. So I don't really... Oh, I thought Ron OP got that. I actually thought Ron OP got that for a second there.
The knockbacks coming out from Graves. Managed to juke out one of his Sonic Waves. Didn't quite get the crippling strike there. So, unfortunately for Latin American North, they don't pick up the Mountain Dragon. GPL squad still have control of that objective.
Well, that's going to, obviously help them out. When they get a couple of kills, it now allows them to push that bit faster. We were talking about how if they're low health, it's difficult to siege up after. More about diving, as Porky goes for a ride up to the top side, right into a Sonic Wave.
QTV decides not to follow up. He's just been split pushing on the top side of the map. He's the only Lee Sin in this game with a teleport.
Double Sight Stone for the Lees is something that can't really be overlooked. You can see their vision control is fairly significant through the river, through the jungle entrances, whereas Graves doesn't really have that, just relying on trinkets.
Yep. See the rest of the Lee Sins that are not picking up side stones, pick up a lot of control wards so they can continue to safeguard over behind their enemies. QTV and Levy now on the top lane. QTV is going in, trying to get behind Porky. Does, knocks him back. Now Levy's there, kicks him into a wall, hits the Sonic Wave. Porky's trying to life steal, but it's not enough. Levy picks up the kill.
Did a decent job at least to hang on, but mid lane is where the real damage is being done because down goes the tower, and with the vision control that these Lees are going to have, it suddenly becomes a lot more dangerous for the Latin American North team to start moving through their own jungle here. If they can't de-ward the areas using control wards, they can't establish enough vision control at the same time to be able to know where the safe spots are.
Well, again, Ron OP moving down in towards the bottom lane. Evan RL has not spotted him out. Like you said, not much vision coming out from them just yet. Optimus will land a Sonic Wave, decides not to follow up.
Oh, he does. He's got in.
Actually, does go in, kicks Evan RL, uses the heal, gets the second Sonic Wave. Optimus gets a solo kill against Evan RL.
Even through the summoners, goes right through. Evan RL just cannot stay alive in this game. 0-5 has not been the best of games.
Oh no, it certainly has not for Evan RL. He's gone back to base. Oh, I mean, sorry, he's been forced back to base here. He's picked up a Zeal for himself. So far, only the Depth Stances available for most of the Graves and just components here and there. Ron OP is not going to get quite behind Porky as he flashes away from the Dragon's Rage.
Yeah, managed to get himself out to a decent situation. Porky not doing too badly. I mean, he's got 3 deaths, but is fairly well farmed. Same as Seiya in that mid lane. But it's been a tough old game. The Ice team are trying to kite as effectively as possible. But it's a tough ask against 5 Lee Sins who can just dive you at any point.
Kiting against one of the most mobile champions in the game. It can be done, a little bit difficult. We'll have to see if they can do that later on. For now, though, it's been a little bit of a lull in this match. It's still 14-5. The GPL team has picked up quite a few kills in this match. Majority of them going on over towards Evan RL. Audi will pick up his red buff. It's still 42,000 to 37,000 gold, so a nice 5,000 gold lead for the Southeast Asian team.
Nice lead. We'll see if they can convert it into a win. I mean, this is a good situation for them to be in right now because they can actually tie up that third place spot in the group with a win here. Of course, it all depends on the 1v1s, and those are our tiebreakers, so we'll see how they end up going on later today. But for Team Fire, of course, they've got the 3 teams that are going through to the knockout stage tomorrow.
That's
so
right.
That race is on. That race is on for those final spots.
Latin America North, if I'm not mistaken, still looking for their first win in the tournament. 0-3 at the moment. So Optimus is continuing to split push in this bottom lane. This time, he's up against Porky, not Evan RL. Levy trying to make his way down in towards the bottom lane, getting behind the bottom lane inner turret. Porky still doesn't quite see him just yet. He's got it behind him. Porky's got to be really careful. Safeguards to a ward, kicks him into the wall, gets 2 Sonic Waves. Another kick comes through, and Optimus is unstoppable after picking up that kill.
That Pork is pretty tender right now because that was a lot of damage under the bot tower. Now they're going to take it out. Again, this is the Mountain Drake coming through. They can just take these towers as long as they're healthy enough. QTV wants to do the same topside, doesn't quite land it onto Nazul. But he's going to try it again by the looks of it. He's just standing there. It doesn't really matter.
So meanwhile, we move down in towards the least inside of the jungle. You see Levy pick up his own red buff. Optimus going to be working on the Wolf Camp. Nazul trying to get a ward down over the Baron pit. Gets hit by 1OP as well as QTV. He gets kicked twice. Nazul's inside the pit. He gets executed as well as QTV picks up that kill.
And Evan RL died in the mid lane as well. Celebrity was just going ham. I think he was even in the base.
A lot of damage actually coming out from Sayer there, trying to chip away at the Lee Sins, but doesn't do that much damage.
And we've got to a point now where, you know, Latam North, they were pushing fairly well with the Graves, but without the ability to take a step through their jungle, they're kind of resigned to sitting under their towers. We've seen this game after game. Lots of games that they've been sat under their towers. Sayer.
They're going on top of it, and Sayer forced to flash away. Porky uses his own collateral damage. Here comes Levy, though, kicks Porky into the wall. 2 Sonic Waves land, and it's going to be Levy that picks up that kill.
And the problem is they just keep getting dove because of how far ahead the SCA squad is. It's 18 kills to 5. TP Lee Sin. Yeah. They're looking for the Baron by the looks of it.
Seems like it. Pops over the Sonic Waves. They're just going to leapfrog over this wall. They've got 2 control wards here, and they're just going to tear this Baron apart. They put him in the cage. They're in the Muay Thai tiny ring, and they're just boxing away here.
Oh, no. They got him in the clinch, and they're going to recall out. I mean, there are now no problems with the siege for these Lee Sins. Absolutely none at all. Celebrity walks up. He's going to go right aggressive. Oh, actually connects with the Q. That's satisfying. Ooh. That is satisfying. Gets helped out of the base, I think it is, inevitably. Just ward jumps out. But
eventually one of his Lee Sin buddies jump up, gets him out of that base. We can check in with some of the items that have been picked up as well. 2 Phantom Dances for the Graves. Another Zeal item being picked up by Audi after he got his own Death Stance. Finally, a Black Cleaver being picked up by Porky in the top lane. On the flip side, lots of different items being picked up at Elisa. See a Last Whisper in the top lane with Black Cleavers all around. A couple of Ravenous Hydras. You can see Dead Man's Plate here and there. Guardian's Angel as well for Optimus. He does not want to die.
Yeah, he knows what's up. He's just going to go in, you know, get under tower, kill somebody, get the GA proc, and dash back out. But there's a couple also Executioner's Callings and Immortal Reminders that's going to try and cut all the way through the healing that is going to come from those Vamp Scepters or Ron OP.
We've seen him not quite connect with his Flash Dragon Rages a few times now. Yeah. Hopefully, if he's deciding to be that risky, he can pull it off. Another Dragon's been picked up by the GPL team. They've got a Cloud Drake now. They also take down the top lane inner turret. Mid lane inner turret's going to fall shortly after. It's now 6 turrets to 3. They have a nice 12,000 gold advantage to work with.
Bot lane's getting pushed in as well. Optimus is pushing this one at the same time. Graves just can't do enough. Graves normally has decent wave clear, but they're just too far behind.
Sayer's been kicked twice, gets hit by a Sonic Wave, but he is able to quick draw closer towards his base. So the first inhibitor turret is going to fall. Meanwhile, on the top lane, QTV and Celebrity trying to duke it out with Audi and Nazul. When we take a look at the inhibitor, that's fallen. Optimus and Ron OP were able to take that one down. Now he's just meandering through the base of Team Ice. Nazul's getting kicked back. Another inhibitor turret falls.
Now
they're working on the inhibitor, but let's see if they go for a fight here. The Sand's been hit a few times. Real Celebrity goes in, kicks him backwards. He's going to get taken out. Rono Peace knocked back Evan RL. The Graves look like they're winning this fight, though, as two Lee Sins have fallen. They're trying to get the heck out of dodge now. Maybe not. They might want to go back in for this one. Optimus going to kick Porky. No, Zortri jumps on. He's going to go down. Porky's trying to kite away. Has to flash away from the three Lee Sins. Levy won't connect with that final Q, but Optimus does. He goes deep into the base. QTV's trying to run away, but Oni does get the shut down. But he's in front of two Lee Sins. Levy kicks a womp. Optimus will safeguard over towards him. Oni's going to use the heal. He's been ignited. Levy picks up the kill. Evan RL, he's out of mana, and they're just going to be able to take him down for the double kill. That's 4 for 3 trade.
4 for 3. Porky's going to try and do anything he can to hold through, but in Levy goes.
He's trying to get as much damage as possible. That's the second inhibitor to fall in this match. Lots of respawn timers for the Graves here. Only Nazul up in the next second or so. This might be all 3 inhibitors falling here from one swift push from the Southeast Asian team.
And you can see Optimus has done such a good job with that GA as well. Was able to keep himself alive through all of that situation. Didn't even get it procced. But this is the difference between the Lee Sin and the inner Lee Sin. Because in Celebrity goes, tries to go aggressive. So does Rono P. Suddenly, it all looks a little bit like Kermit the Frog, and they're not really able to do too much from there. But the turnaround comes because Optimus is that Lee Sin on the enemy team, the one that is just so far ahead that is able to take everybody out. Porky tries his best to kite back, but Optimus finds Sia instead, stays alive, doesn't even take much damage from the tower, and from there, the chase is on up onto the top side. Odi tried to stay alive, but we're back with Optimus on the live screen, and he's already hunting down, I think it's Evan RL, which has not gone well for Evan in the last couple of days.
He's certainly out for blood here, Stress. They've got 2 super minions crashing on towards the Nexus turrets. All the Graves have grouped up. The Lee Sins are piling in on towards the base, slowly trying to see if they can chip away these turrets. The Graves, though, with a knockback, doing a really good job of turret defense here. The shotgun shell's a little bit too strong for Lee Sin.
Just the knockback. Keep them at arm's length. Keep them pushed back. Don't ever let the minions get to the turret. This looks like to be the last stand.
Definitely trying to make the most out of it. They're really good at making sure they clear out the waves. Levy tries to go in, but look at Optimus! He's wrapped around. Porky's been hit by the Sonic Wave. He goes in, gets the Thunderlords. Now Rono P tries to get behind him, but he just can't quite. Oh, he's been kicked.
Oh,
a massive knockup. Celebrity's now going in. He gets one. He kicks him back in towards the fountain as well. The first turret's gonna fall. The second turret's gonna fall shortly after. That's an open Nexus, but they're still out for more blood. Nurtle's the next target, but it doesn't matter because the Nexus is gonna fall as Southeast Asia are victorious.
Well, that was a fast game of dives coming out of the SEA region. I mean, what can you really say about that? They had a 7-kill Lee Sin, a 6-kill Lee Sin. That was a pretty convincing game. As soon as they got a lead, the tower pushing game did not matter for Team Ice. They just couldn't stay alive long enough to push towers out. They didn't have vision control.
And it really looked like they're going to have a lot of trouble sieging in that match too, but just the Lee Sins being able to wrap around, kick someone out, quickly kill someone, and then go back in was pretty brilliant to watch.
It was a little unfortunate for Team Ice. A lot of presence put down in that bottom lane. They would have liked, you know, a successful sequel of Evan Almighty, but nobody really told him that that wasn't so much of a box office hit, and he just got smashed. The team weren't there to help him. Nobody could really pick up the pieces, and they lost all sense of vision control. Team Ice, unfortunately, that means Latin America North, I believe, are now 0-4.
That's right, not a single win so far in the International Wildcard All-Stars, but some hope for the Southeast Asia squad. They're now 2-1, tied up with Brazil, also from Team Fire, who are 2-1, who'll be playing in the next match, still fighting for that 3rd place spot to fight to see who will be moving on into day number 4.
It's a tough week for Team Ice. It really has been. After getting swept yesterday, this really has been a rough set of days. I mean, it looked so good after day 1. Like, the CIS region bounced back in their game and were able to pick up a win, but after that, not a whole lot has gone their way.
It certainly has not so far for the CIS team, but one thing I really want to mention here, Stress, is, you know, we talked on the analyst desk about Ezreal possibly being picked up, Cassiopeia, all these really powerful, gimmicky picks. We didn't mention anything about Lee Sin or Graves here, and that's the first two champions we see in the day.
Yeah, which is a fun change. I'm glad we actually saw something different. Hopefully in our second game we'll see another couple of champions come out.
We'll be able to get into that second game shortly, but first for more on that victory, Hingers is with GPL's Optimus.
Thank you, Fish. I'm here right now with GPL's Optimus. First of all, congratulations on the win. And secondly, I want to ask about this Lee Sin pick. You've got Levy on your team, who's a Lee Sin expert. What was your thought process in deciding which champion you guys were all going to go with?
Okay, chúc mừng chiến thắng hôm nay ha. Thì bên mình team mình á, tại sao pick Lee Sin vậy? Vì bên mình có Levy là expert về Lee Sin á. Thì có phải như vậy không? Hay là như thế nào?
Lựa chọn Lee Sin thì đó là thứ nhất là do cảm tính của cả đội rằng là vị tướng Lee Sin là vị tướng mạnh nhất, và cũng như là ở trong đội thì có tới tận 3 người là chơi tốt được vị tướng Lee Sin.
Yeah, so it's just the feeling of the entire team saying that Lee Sin is the strongest champion for GPL, and out of the 5 of us, 3 of them play Lee Sin pretty well. So yeah.
I want to ask then, were you worried about anything? Were you concerned about potential counter picks to the Lee Sin then?
Em có sợ bị counter pick với Lee Sin không?
Tại vì cũng đã tính được hết rồi, thì ở vị tướng Lee Sin thì nó phụ thuộc vô việc mà mình làm tốt hay là tệ, chứ không phụ thuộc quá nhiều vào việc bị counter, vì Lee Sin là một tướng cơ động cũng như là toàn diện.
Yeah, so it's all calculated actually. So we know that Lee Sin is a very strong one, a very well-rounded champion. So yeah, it matters more on how you perform as a champion more than the counter pick.
Sure. And finally then, this afternoon you've got your 1v1s versus Oceania. Can you give us a sneak peek? Are you comfortable? Are you confident? Are you worried? How do you feel going into the match?
Thì chuẩn bị tới là mình sẽ đánh 1v1 với Úc. Thì em có suy nghĩ sao về này? Em lo sợ hay em tự tin hay như thế nào?
Cũng khá là hồi hộp, bởi vì đây là trận đấu quan trọng, nhưng mà cũng rất là phấn khích khi mà gặp lại những đối thủ mà đã từng gặp rồi.
Yeah, so pretty nervous, but also very exciting. It's a very important match, and he's glad that he's gonna meet them again. So.
Yeah, excellent. Well, thank you so much for your timing. Best of luck with your match this afternoon. It's now time to throw it over to VIểrt the desk to break down Lee Sin versus Graves.
Thank you very much, Hangers. Of course, an interesting first game to be sure. Now, Graves, Lee Sin didn't show up on any of your initial picks in any factor. Care to explain, Analyst Desk?
Okay, listen, Queen Lacifa. We made a terrible mistake. I picked Katarina. I completely retract that. Lee Sin was clearly the best choice, and we didn't even get like the ultimate like penta kick. Can you just imagine if they just make it like a hexagon of Lee Sins and just kicked everyone into each other?
I think you mean a pentagon, but good geometry there.
We added extra ones.
We were all in the caster room during the game, and we were all sitting there being like, why are they picking Lee Sin? Lee Sin, this is a free win for Graves. There's nothing that the Graves can do. Like, the range champion, super tanky, gonna outscale the Lee Sin, like Lee Sin's done so. And we were just like, yeah, what's he gonna do? Like, sure, he can have fun interactions. Then we get into game, and then we see Lee Sin like kick into kick into kick into kick. Like, oh my god, this champion is broken.
And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a chance to look at some of those kicks. But let's start with some of these early plays. Honestly, from the beginning, it felt like the Graves team could just not get anything in their favor.
Honestly, I think the big thing to highlight here is how tanky the Lee Sin is, right? Because
from the get-go.
Yeah, just watch this. Like, look, he's just so tanky. You can't do any damage to him. Just unbelievable how much damage he's able to sustain. Absolutely ridiculous.
Levy, of course, the sidestep king in that circumstance. But guys, I mean, it is one for all, and I think this is an experience we should share on the desk. So for this next replay, which was an absolutely insane fight, I'd like you all to break it down simultaneously, if you don't mind.
Okay, so this guy's gonna go for a kick right here.
From the flank, there's the Lee Sin.
Look at how tanky he is.
Look at the Levy. Look at the Levy. Oh, beautiful.
Go!
All right, I'll just let you stop there. Clearly, none of you are comfortable talking over each other.
We're not play-by-play.
I understand. I'm putting you.
The replay keeps going. Both Lee Sin suicide now. Look. They get baited by Graves.
What a wonderful, wonderful
No, this was the progression of it backstage. Like, Mithy started this out, he's like, this is dumb. Graves is gonna beat them, he's way OP for them. And then as it, like, progressively got worse and worse, he's like, oh! And then he's like,
Lee Sin's OP.
Lee Sin's OP, it's done.
Of course, we have one final set of replays. Just a little highlight montage for all of you who maybe missed out on that game, because you should go back and watch it, because it is just a series of beautiful kicks.
So pretty much anytime Graves is airborne, he's just like, Jesus, take the wheel. Like, I'm done. They just take their hand off the keyboard, like, this is fun.
The best thing is, because like the chain CC, you actually cannot get out of this because you're just being kicked, and then you're being kicked into another knockup. So like, look at the Graves here. He literally can't move. There's nothing that he can do about this because of the insane amount of damage and CC that it provides. It's just a top-tier combo. Mad respect for Southeast Asia.
Poor guys. Poor Graves.
Maybe Lee Sin is the new top-tier pick. We'll see as the day progresses. But with Southeast Asia All-Stars taking out our first match today, let's take a chance to look now at the standings. Starting off, of course, with Team Fire. Now, a lot of big things starting up here. You can see pretty good for GPL overall now, 2-1. Definitely looking to move up in the standings.
Yeah, no, this is actually really important because, again, Southeast Asia, they had their 1v1s against Oceania again, and this is super hyper-competitive. Brazil said yesterday that they were really nervous because if they didn't win, like, their fans were going to eat them alive. You know, unfortunately, didn't have the best start at Worlds, so this is actually a pretty intense, close matchup between Brazil and Southeast Asia. Like, who's going to take that final spot?
And, of course, we have to note that Turkey has locked themselves for tomorrow with their 1v1 performance. So, very important to say, Turkey has locked a spot at least in the top 3, although we'll see exactly what seed they're going to get down. And, of course, as we take a chance to look at ICE, I mean, similarly close. Latin America North, unfortunately, 0 and far, not able to find a win.
I think that's a little bit surprising, to be honest, because when we looked at players like NGàY and who had such a fantastic performance at the international wildcard qualifiers, they just weren't really able to perform. So I imagine they had an insane amount of fun, though, because I know we did casting their games.
Absolutely. Of course, remember that ties are broken by the 1v1, so Southeast Asia will get a chance against OCE later today. But we're going to take a quick break. Next, Oceania is desperate to get a win on the board to keep them in contention for tomorrow. We'll see if they can do it when they face off against Brazil from Team Fire when we come back.
No puns that time?
No puns.
There's the kill. He's taking turret damage. Celebrity. Just not quite enough. And it's a double kill for NGàY. He gets kicked twice. The Zor's inside the pit. He gets executed as well. Oh, he's going to use the heal. He's been ignited. Levy picks up the kill. Evan RL, he's out of mana. And they're just going to be able to take him down for the double kill.
to go. Maybe it's the time.
Welcome back to day 3 of IWCA. We just saw Team Fire's Vietnamese All-Stars take out Latin America North. Now we'll see if Brazil can continue that hot streak as they take to the Rift against Oceania. Brazil really want to show up here. Of course, they are risking going for tiebreakers in the end if they want to secure that 3rd seed, something we may not have expected looking at Southeast Asia yesterday.
It is very important for the standings in terms of Team Fire, because if you are unaware, now Team Fire have secured themselves the win. It's now an internal competition between Team Fire, and only the top 3 teams from Team Fire can actually move forward into the bracket stages that will be kicking off tomorrow. So Brazil need the win right now.
As much as I love Brazil, I'm going to talk about Oceania. Like, raise your koalas, because the dream is still alive for Oceania if they can get both of their wins today, as well as the rest of Team Fire losing. Because again, 3 seeds from Team Fire go, 1 seed from Team Ice goes, and that's still up for grabs, and we're still alive.
Well, I mean, Oceania looking pretty confident. Swiffer talking some smack over on Twitter. We have a tweet from him. Absolutely wonderful to see that he is confident as ever. You can take a look at the bottom of your screen. Ready to go.
Can't wait to smash Revolta.
Whoa, whoa. If we're going to read it out, it's can't wait to absolutely smash Revolta and Yang today. Winky face.
Mithi, is this the sort of smack? If you were to receive this, how would you feel being told you were going to get smashed?
I mean, I would just smile through it because they are, what's their score?
There's a 0 in the front. I'm not, or I think we're at 0-2. Right
That's
now.
pretty rough, 2-8.
All right. Well, we'll see. Okay. We'll see if Oceania can find the chance to put a 1 in that scoreline, at least in terms of the win column, or if they will go to 0-3. Let's see what craziness goes down. Let's send it over to the casters to take this one away.
Whew. It's a lot of bad blood on the desk over there, Stress.
Spicy.
Very, very spicy. I'm still Matt Fish. Still joining me is James Stress O'Leary, and it's getting very, very spicy over there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just still not even recovered from that last game. So that the desk of fighting, we're getting ready for maybe 5 Lee Sins again. I think if we see 5 Lee Sins, we're probably going to see 10 Lee Sins now, because people have seen how good that was in Game 1.
Well, there's already a possibility, but first let's take a look at our contenders on the blue side of Summoner's Rift. Representing Team Ice, it's going to be Oceania. Up in the top lane, it's Big Swips himself, Swiper from the Chiefs Esports Club. Carbon representing Legacy heading into the jungle. Swiffer will be heading into the mid lane to absolutely smash a couple of people with Rady and Rosie, the bottom lane duo from the Direwolves and Tatum Mines.
We'll see whether talking big is enough to be successful in this one, because their opponents from Team Fire on the red side, the All-Stars from Brazil. In the top lane, it's Yang. The jungler is Revolta. Mid lane is Kami, AD carry PBO, with support Dude.
Dude, the French Dude is going to be taking to the Rift here, and it's going to be an exciting match between these 2 teams. I mean, they have a lot of friendship, a lot of friendly rivalry as well. We already saw Swiffer's tweet, so they kind of know one another, and it's going to be a good, fun game to watch.
We'll see whether he'll come back to eat those words.
More often than not, they do.
Normally that's what happens.
Normally that's what tends to happen here. We were kind of talking to the Oceanic team earlier and yesterday as well, and they were kind of saying that Ezreal is the must-go-to pick in this match. So we have a possibility to see Ezreal being played here.
Yeah, possibly if they want to win. Or from the other game modes, we might see a Shaco if they don't. So it hasn't been all so good for the Oceanic team over the last couple of days. But we're into the lottery draft. We'll see whose numbers come up.
You certainly are. So we're going to have to see what they decide to pick up here. Oh, no! Don't do this, Oceania. Oh, no, please, no. You're just giving nightmares to everyone back at home.
PBO's being hopeful.
This is not great. So far, though, we see 2 Zacks being locked in on the side of Team Fire.
I've heard of NA Rengar. How is OCE Rengar?
Rengar is probably the most hated champion in Oceania.
Okay.
So I don't think they're going to lock this one in. I think they're just hovering it for now.
Well, they've unselected, and now they're kind of swapping over.
There we go. That's what we expected from them. But it was a little bit of a fright there to see an Oceanic team hover over Rengar. So we will see the Ezreals locked in. We do see the Zacks being locked in as well. So it's Ezreal against Zac.
Now, is this the equivalent of rock, paper, scissors, and Zac is the rock and Ezreal is just going to be the paper now? Because are they ever going to hit an elastic slingshot?
I don't think they're ever going to hit an elastic slingshot. My question is, how is Ezreal going to kill all these Zacks?
That's a good question. With damage is what I assume is going to be the thing. Whereas what Brazil are doing, and maybe I'm doing the same thing as last time, where we thought the Graves would do well, and actually the Lee Sin crushed them. Maybe it's the same thing, but Ezreal has a blink, so pretty difficult.
Well, if you think about it, you know, the Zack's got to jump onto one Ezreal, VIjourd chips away, then you get all 4 Zacks to jump on him, and he's definitely going to die.
That is optimistic and requires a lot of, forward thinking. Took a while to see the Graves line things up and get their cues in the right direction, so there's a lot on the line.
It certainly is.
Yeah, the Ezreal, well, at least they got the push, I guess.
Well, you and I got to watch a little bit of Zack playing All for One earlier today. Unfortunately, they can't pick up each other's blobs, but it is a little bit disgusting seeing people knocked up constantly all over the place.
Oh no, it's all pool party as well. The sound effects, just...
And it's full debonair Ezreal as well. You can see both the teams actually on your screen, so just looking over to one another when they saw that everyone has the exact same skin. Oh no, this is going to be a disaster. But for you back at home, head over to @LOL Esports and vote for your team to win. If you want Oceania to take this one, use the hashtag OCEWin to raise your koalas. If you want Brazil to take down the Oceanic squad, use the hashtag BRWin. But enough of that, we're about to get onto Summoner's Rift for the second match of All for One.
So we got a healthy mix of AD and AP coming out from our Ezreals, who... This looks ridiculous.
Oh,
this
no.
actually looks ridiculous. All of the debonair.
Oh, goodness.
Is that a chroma version as well? Or is that actually debonair Ezreal?
It's debonair Ezreal. So they've got 4 teleports in the side of Zack. There's going to be a lot of teleporting to blobs. They're already talking about it amongst one another. We saw Dude say, you belong in a museum. Already.
I think Dude may have, Revolta may have just had his mind blown, because yes, they're all running TP, but Swiffer's talking a little bit about how they can TP on the blobs.
Yep.
So what's going to happen is Revolta's going to get caught out in the jungle, and then 4 Zacks are all just going to TP on one blob each.
God's sake.
This is dumb.
That's not something you see every day. I was not
They've
prepared
timed
for
it.
this.
They've actually timed it.
Oh my goodness. If there was any 2 teams to trust to put on a fun show like this, it would be Oceania as well as Brazil. But the jungle camps have spawned, the minions have crashed into lanes. In the mid lane, Swiffer up against Kami here, taking on the Zack as Ezreal in the jungle. You see Yang and Revolta, just kind of leashing back and forth. Carbon looking to try and hit level 3 nice and early by kiting this card camp around. Doesn't do too much damage to the big Krug. Slowly smite that one away, get some health back for it. He will be able to hit level 3 once he kills the Russian dolls.
It's been a long, long time since we've seen Ezreal in the jungle in a competitive game.
I'm sorry, but I'm in an office with Rusty. I see this every day.
I said in a competitive game. It's been a long time since he was a pro player. It's one of the shots I get to fire out. Oh, that is 5 courage of the Colossus. So, if any of them land in between 5 people, that's going to be, what, a 35% max health shield?
That's right.
And if you're only building health...
On all 5 Zacks?
On all 5 Zacks. Are there enough Blade of the Ruin Kings to go through that? I mean, Giant Slayer into Lord Dominic's is going to be critical for just about everybody in this game.
Certainly is. You could definitely expect the Zacks to be picking up their Spirit Visages. You can see the different builds coming out from Zacks here. I mean, not really. All Doran's shields coming out from every single Zack. You see Kami in mid lane only using his health potion. Only Revolta really going for the Hunter's Talisman to kind of farm up in the jungle a little bit more efficiently. Whereas for the Ezreals, we see support Ezreal being played by Rosie. He's gone for the Spell Thief's Blade just to kind of not take any farm away from Radiant. Going for a traditional AD carry Ezreal. Top lane Swiper's got his Doran's Blade. Mid lane we have a Doran's Ring for Swiffer.
PBO and Dude are really struggling in this bottom lane. They've got 8 CS between them. I don't know why one of them... So when we were watching the playtest earlier, like people went double relic shield. I'm surprised that we didn't see the same thing come out. Yang, gotta be careful in that top side.
Taking quite a bit of damage there from Carbon and Swiper, but is able to get to the safety of his turret. Does have teleport if he needs to get back into his lane. In fact, Kami's already used his teleport to get back into the mid lane, picked up a Ruby Crystal for himself. Yang still deciding to stay. Carbon Arcane shifts forward, gets a little bit of damage down on towards the Zac. Swiper threading the needle with his Mystic shots as well.
Infernal Drake is the first one out on the map, so maybe we'll end up seeing if the Ezreals can get that off, just having the natural push advantage in the lanes, and that's gonna go, you know, a nice little way, help them chunk through some of the health that Zacs are gonna end up with. I wonder whether we're gonna see a full AP Zac coming from that, or whether they're all just gonna build health.
I'm actually really curious to see if we're gonna see a full tank Ezreal from Swiper, because when he played the Assassin mode Pantheon, he tried to build pseudo tank, didn't really go for an Assassin's build. Lacked a lot of damage on his Pantheon top, and he is known to be a top lane tank player.
I don't know how effective tank Ezreal is going to be against 5 tanks.
Well, that is actually something I have seen in a competitive game. Top lane tank Ezreal. Not very exciting. You just arcane shift into people and hope you don't die.
Ah. I would assume if you have a lot of resistances, you're probably not going to die, but... Ah, Yang. Didn't quite find Swiper. He's going tier. He's not really going tank on this one.
Not going to go tank. Meanwhile, Swiffer heads back into his mid lane, picked up a tome for himself, so sticking to a true AP Ezreal build path. You can see he's got a lot of points into his Essence Flux instead of the Mystic Shot, which does scale a lot better on AP. Dude going to take a bit of damage from the Thunderbolts proc by Rosie there. Rosie and Rady actually doing a really good job in this bottom lane. It's 46 CS to 13 at the moment.
See, the other side of things from that the Lost Chapter, we're going to go Morellonomicon, so we're going to have some of that healing reduction coming through. Maybe we'll see one Mortal Reminder out of some of the other Ezreals, just to cut through some of the self-healing that Zac's going to have too. So it's not just the Lord Dominic's. You kind of probably need a mix of both. Ooh, dude, got to be careful.
Taking quite a bit of damage there, but Revolta's trying to jump in across the side of the wall. Let's see if he can land it.
Nope.
Decides to cancel his Elastic Slingshot as Dude just taking so much damage from the Essence Fluxes over the minion wave from Radio and Rosie.
Yeah, and it's, you know, a difficult time because as soon as you see Zac come in, that Arcane Shift's going to just jump you right the way out of danger. So, Dude this time comes onto the minion wave. That's going to spell the end of that push from the Ezreals in the bot side. We'll see what they end up buying.
It seems like every single Zac is going more for tanky items. There's a true shot barrage down the mid lane.
Everybody's high health, so we're not following it for a kill, unfortunately.
Yep, just seems like Carbon there decided to attack Swiffer's lane a little bit, despite not ganking it.
Just getting that constant push on. Make sure you can push every lane out as much as possible. Where are PBO and Dude going?
Seems they're moving in towards the red buff here. Carbon's actually started that one up. Does have a ward inside of his own brush, so can spot out the Zacs coming through.
Oh, mid lane.
Kami trying to jump on top of
Ooh,
Swiffer. Arcane shifts forward. Another one comes in with Revolta. They're bouncing on top of the Debonair Ezreal. Double bounces all over Swiffer. They will splash down and pick up first blood.
Oh, Dude.
The first blobbers are going to get popped there. The rest of the team, PBO and Revolta, trying to block. There's only one block left, but no! It's not going to be enough. Dude, the French dude, will get taken down.
PBO having a flash out. They missed a couple of critical blocks on the Qs coming from the Ezreal. So 1-1. The advantage is for the OPL team right now because just the sheer farm advantage in the bottom lane.
Here we saw up on the top side of the map there, Yang trying to go aggressive over towards Swiper. True Shot Barrage comes across the map. Doesn't take the red buff away from Revolta. He picks that one up with ease. Carbon now working on the Scuttle Crab. Honeydew even being picked up there. Rosie making sure Carbon's nice and topped up. They're going to start the Infernal Drake. Should be able to chip away at this one pretty quickly as 3 Ezreals Essence fluxing one another to keep their attack speed nice and high.
That's... you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Everybody gets the extra attack speed, and they're able to take that down. Let's take another look at how Swiffer got taken out, because there's the one. Didn't quite hit from Kami, so baits out the E. I like it. Kami missed on purpose, by the looks of it. was able to bait Swiffer forward. No, I give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. Come on, Revolta, you've got to block the Qs here. He's a little bit afraid because Rosie and Radiant are both there, and they just don't block the damage coming through.
BBO even tried to block the last few attacks there for Dude, but he gets taken out afterwards as well. Kami, he's gone back to base, picked up a Negatron cloak for himself. So possibly still going for an Abyssal Scepter. We'll have to see if this does decide to go for the AP Zac. A Swiper gets jumped on here by Yang. Gonna miss his own Mystic shots, trying to farm up as much as possible, but he only has the tier, so doesn't deal too much damage to Yang in the top lane.
Yeah, Yang just healing up more off the blobs that are on the floor than the damage that Swiper's doing to him there. Revolta picks up a blue. Is he gonna head bot side? Actually just go straight onto Gromp, so no real help for his bot lane. For BBO and Dude. With a double bounce.
Constantly just trying to jump onto the minion wave, clear that one out, and then you see two arcane shifts forward from Radiant and Rosie, trying to capitalize on that one. Now it's just an army of Zacs lining up. The rain of slingshot barrages could be coming out in just a bit here. Radiant and Rosie have to be careful.
I want to see this. Just everybody elastic slingshotting. Ah, they're moving. Ah. That would have been fun.
Would have been epic to watch, but instead the Oceanic bottom lane heads back to base. Swiffer throws out a True Shot Barrage, looking to try and clear out the mid lane. Kami is still here, nice and healthy. He's picked up a Chain Vest for himself.
Yeah. Is he going GA first? Are they all going GA first? After the Sunfire Cape
They've
parts?
got Balmy Cinders.
Yeah, well that's okay. Kami's going GA by the looks of it.
That would be very obnoxious.
If they all get Guardian Angel, that's 15 Zacs, basically, that you have to kill.
Pretty much.
That's disgusting.
You thought killing Zac twice was hard enough, and they all have teleport as well, so they can keep each other invulnerable during one of their resurrections.
Oh, wow, I hadn't... Yeah, that's...
Not great. Carbon again throwing out his True Shot Barrage towards the mid lane, taxiing Swiffer again. Being from rival teams in Oceania, you know, just throwing a little bit of shade in the mid lane. Kami still looking to see if he can farm up here against Swiffer's going to be jumping in from Fog of War. Doesn't connect with the knock-up. Good arcane shift.
That's what's going to happen if you try and hit the first one. Kami needs to miss the first one and then bait him forward again. Although I don't think Swiffer's going to have that happen too often. However, you can see the cooldown is enough that Kami just gets right back to the Elastic Slingshot.
You can see so far all the Zacs going as tanky as possible. Cinderhulk being picked up by Revolta.
He's trying bot again.
He's trying to get
into
the bot lane. PBO is looking for the bounce. Revolta's coming in as well. They both don't connect.
So close.
Not able to get the knockups down, and Radiant Rose just poke them back.
It's like watching diving at the Olympics at this point. That one, not a good dive. There was no synchro to it. The spin was off. Entry was bad.
2.5 out of 10.
That'd be a really low score.
It's Swiper and Yang going toe-to-toe here. Courage and Colossus does get popped.
Here we
now
go.
going to try and jump in. They try to predict the arcade shift, but only one gets it. Now they're bouncing on the bottom lane.
They
Revolta takes
so
way too much damage. They're going to Bloblets. The teleport's going to come in to try and keep him alive, but that's not a very low health Bloblet. True Shot Barrage does come out. Yang will be able to keep him alive. He's on top of Carbon, forced to use the heal. He's bouncing on top of him. He now gets split.
Quick,
There's one
Dude,
teleport.
TP.
Dude,
There we
he
go.
does. He teleports onto it. Dude's going to try and save the day. Yang comes back up. Teleport gets hit, but Radiant still picks up the kill.
Oh, Dude couldn't keep him alive. Tried to, but he's going back in for more.
Dude is a real man here for Team Fire. Keeps jumping back in. It's now 2,000 gold leader for the OPL squad.
So Kami did not go for a Guardian Angel first. Kami has gone for a ZZ Rock Portal first. So he's just trying to counteract some of that push.
I don't know what's worse, to be honest. I don't know if I want to see the little rhinoceroses that Max likes to affectionately call them, or 15 Zacs. They both just don't sound great.
This was the attempted Zac attack in the bottom lane. PBO missed, Dude missed, Revolta missed. Great sequence. That was fantastic. Here comes the first TP, so this was Yang come from the top lane. Unfortunately, Gets taken pretty low, can't even quite get on for the first kill, and Carbon survived. Then Dude, you can see on screen, tries to TP through. Yang doesn't have enough health when he comes back. It was good in theory.
Oh no, the rhinoceroses are back.
Jumanji! Gets the push.
Get the turret!
Look at it go!
Oh. Almost got there. It was almost a little beetle that could. It's very rare that we see a ZZ Rock portal in the mid lane.
Yes, it actually is. It's incredibly rare.
Pretty short lane, so it's going to be able to get towards the turrets quite quick here, but now Swiffer and Rosie are both in that mid lane. Kami looking to see if he can get the bounce going on in the mid lane. Instead, just jumps on towards the mini lane, tries to get it clear, but here comes the rest. Dude's now going to jump in. Arcade shifts galore, and finally Revolta will be able to knock off Carbon. The bouncers are going down. It's splashdown time for the Zags as they're able to knock the Debonair Ezreals around. Rosie and Swiffer just watch helplessly as Carbon gets taken down.
Oh, it's almost like a celebration. As soon as they hit the first E, every Zag goes, get him! And
we got it, boys, let's go!
Oh, that was hilarious.
Well, it ties up the scoreboard. It's 2-2, but it's still a 3,000 gold advantage for the OPL team. Majority coming from the CS discrepancy in the bottom lane. Here's that one more time.
So, as is customary, missed the first one, missed the second one.
Got it!
Gets the third one, and off they go. They're off.
He's going to find Radier as well. He's going to get knocked up. The second one, Revolta predicts the arcade shift for Radier. Trying to chase him down. Uses as much rubber hands as he can and will take down the 80 carry from Oceania. That was great.
Oh, looked like Radier couldn't quite get away from that one. Tried, I guess, didn't have his E up by the time we got there, and completely shut out. So Yang has to deal with Carbon.
Throws down the smite as well, just for a little bit of extra damage.
I don't know what's going on anymore in this game. To be honest. This is silly.
Well, Swiper's built a stinger up in the top lane. Not a very traditional item for Ezreal.
Going for that Trinity Force. So just putting it in with the rest of the build, so we'll be able to get that max damage. This is...
No.
Sounds awful.
It's like the Dragon Pit's their own little swimming pool and they're just diving in constantly.
I didn't know he tickles the underbelly of the fish. I've never watched that recall fully.
Oh no. Well, Swiffer on the top side, Swiper on the top side of the map, still pushing out against Yang here. He's doing a really good job of holding his own.
Oh no, look at the inventories.
No, there's
look.
Raptors cloaked for
look
both
what's coming.
Revolta and Dude.
ZZ Rock portals in every lane.
ZZ Rock portals and Sunfire capes galore.
And then buy the GAs, because then you'll never die.
GA and Spirit Resurgent, they'll all be safe. One Arcane Shift used, Carbon still gets hit by the next bounce. Swiffer now trying to jump away. Revolta and Yang on top of it. They're bouncing! Swiffer, he's going to get knocked down here. They flattened him like Super Mario.
Oh man, this is the kind of game where I feel bad for our observers, because they're going to try and catch every single elastic slingshot. Here comes some in the middle.
Oh, Kami's going in first. Swipe uses Arcade Shift. Now that's a good target for Dude, but he can't connect. Instead takes quite a bit of damage from the double Ezreal in the mid lane.
So Kami's ZZ Rock portal's doing a decent job of at least holding back that mid lane, stopping the push for as long as possible. And we've started to close some of the gold lead that the OPL team had. TP coming through onto the ZZ Rock portal.
All right, Kami. What do you have in store for us this time?
Gonna get into lane.
Yep, just clears up the minions. Bouncing all over the place.
Perfect dive. Gets onto it.
So
Gets
now,
the front minions.
Now we can kind of see the staggering the jumps, making sure the Arcane Shifts are used. I'm actually just surprised Kami hasn't gone full AP and he's the last person to jump in.
I am a little surprised on that. Like, get Luden's Echo or something so that when you jump in and you hit them, your particles bounce everywhere. Zac bounces everywhere.
Not Swiffer. Quick Arcane Shift out of that one. Yang will take a little bit of damage. But he's fine. Here's Zac. He's very, very tanky.
Second ZZ Rock portal.
And it's going to be the jungler that picks it up. Revolta. There's 2 more in the making here. Both Yang as well as Dude have the components. They've got the Raptors cloak ready to go.
this game. I don't know whether this game is ever going to end because I don't think the Zax can ever catch Ezreal.
Buckle up, everyone. We're going
enough.
to 60 minutes.
I legitimately think we're going long on this one because Zac can never catch Ezreal enough to reliably kill all of them. But with 5 ZZ Rot portals, can Ezreal push the wave back? Unless they like ult one wave continually, all of them every single time, this might be a bit of a stalemate.
It's going to be
Have we got a few more play-by-play casters around here? just bring 5 in and we'll just keep everybody fresh.
Oh, Swiffer's been jumped on here, tries to shift away. Revolta will pop the Let's Bounce, but the flash will get Swiffer back to safety.
I legitimately think this is a game of like OPL have to just wait and win in the late game.
6 items or bust?
Yeah, yeah. Fish, is your voice up to this?
Well, we'll see how this one goes. For now, there's still lots of bouncing going on in the top lane. Swiffer's been jumped on, no more flash available for him. Rhodes's now getting over the wall to see if he can help him out. The last shift's going through, the rubber hands are there. Revolta is unstoppable. You can see Swiffer has his hands in his head. After 3, Zax jump him in the top lane. Meanwhile, Kami trying to defend his mid lane out to the turret, but Swiper and Carbon are enough to take that one down.
All of that for 1 Ezreal, and they lose their mid tower at the same time, so that's going to speed the game up just a touch. TP coming in. They're trying to go on the bot side. Radiant
is being bounced on by PBO. Meanwhile, Revolta and Carbon are trying to duke it up, but there is a TP right behind Radiant in the bottom lane. Kami, though, Suicide Squad in that mid lane. Has to flash away. Carbon's going to flash forward, try and get the slowdown. They did kill the Zerot portal as Revolta decides to jump in as well with his allies. Radius managed to somehow avoid the gank that came down to the bottom lane. Will Arcane shift over the wall. 3 Zacs are not enough for Radius.
Looked like he was trying to get a, you know, the Zacs were trying to box him in but couldn't get it. Look at how much they used for Swiffer though. Yang first to ult, Dude flashes on him and ults. Revolta comes in all the way from the back of the lane and is able to output some damage.
Same, Swiffer, same.
I think that's how we're all feeling watching this game. Why? Why is the word that comes to mind.
Oh, goodness. So 2 Zerot portals are online. Seems like the next 2 are coming up shortly. PBO didn't get the memo.
Oh, he's getting there. He's got the rejuvenation bead. You know, he's on his way. Nearly.
It almost seems like they're in for the long haul as well. They're like, all right, let's get to 6 items, be so tanky they can't kill us, and just bounce on them. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but it seems like what Brazil are trying to do.
Seems like it. It's a long waiting game till they get 6 items.
See 2 Executioner's Callings being picked up, one by Carbon, one being picked up by Radiant. We already have the Morellonomicon being picked up by Swiffer in the mid lane.
Yeah, all to get through that healing. So eventually we might want to see a Lord Dominic's, but just stack the healing debuff as frequently as possible.
Kami now in the mid lane, going toe-to-toe against Swiffer. Just wants to clear out the wave. Carbon has nothing to say about that. He's going to get jumped on now. He's already used his shift. They're bouncing on him. The jungler from Oceania is just getting melted here. And it seems like as soon as Zac holds you tight, he's never going to let you go.
Gotta be careful, because as soon as you use that shift away, if you're still in range, Yang's going to ult on you as well.
There's all the bounces going on top of Swiper. Already used his shift. Yang still chasing
coming up
down. There goes the jump. The flash away from Swiper. He's now going to go toe-to-toe. Let's see if he can get the damage he needs down towards Yang. True Shot Barrage does come out, left with less than 200 health. Swiper just doesn't have the mobility to catch up. There's 2 ZZ Rot minions on the top lane. What's going on?
Mountain Drake in the bottom side is what's happening. I mean, just using the double ZZ Rot minions as bodyguards.
Oh, they've got 4 now, Stress. I don't think we can keep up with all these Rhinoceros beetles. Oh, goodness.
I mean, the bodyguard play, I like it. It's good. Kami dropping very low in the mid lane. And look, we're nearly at number 5. We're nearly at number 5 on PBO.
PBO, he wants to catch up with the rest of his team. 2 ZZ Rot portals already in the top lane. Revolta and Dude, though, looking for Swiper. He's already used his flash. They're just trying to get behind him, it seems. Dude, not quite far enough. they'll be able to defend the top lane turret to fight another day.
It's so low, though. All he's got to do is run up to it. But he can't with 3 people up on the top side. They're still hunting him. Swiper, be careful, Swiper. Don't use your E.
Swiper, no swiping. Come on.
No swipe.
Dude, now trying to get behind Swiper. No arcane shift used, but Yang is here as well.
Here we
now
go.
the Beatles are charging on. One gets there. We'll be able to get a decent amount of damage down. Rosie pops the Ghost. Spooky Ghost will slow down 2 of the Zacs.
Just need the next minion wave. Try and push back Rosie. Here we go again. Dude, looking for the charge.
Again, still trying to push the top lane. We mentioned Zacs might have a bit of trouble pushing these turrets. Seems like they found the solution here, Stress, which is every single Xerath portal possible. And they're slowly chipping away at this one.
Is it the ZZ-Rot minions that are guarding the Zacs, or the Zacs that are guarding the ZZ-Rot minions at this point? Because they're just walking them into the tower.
Oh no, there's even more in the bottom lane, slowly chipping away at these turrets. Starting to look a little bit like the Lee Sin against Graves match that we saw earlier
No, this
today.
is looking nothing like the Lee Sin versus Graves matchup. The Lee Sin versus Graves matchup was almost over at this point. This feels like it hasn't even really begun.
Kami now going for the Let's Bounce on top of Swiper, but Swiffer's down here as well. He'll shift into the bounce. Swiper now going aggressively forward, trying to get as much damage down as possible. Kami sidesteps a couple of the Mystic shots,
the
but
TPs are ready.
Oh, no.
All of them are ready.
As soon as you pop one of these Zacs, all 4
Ooh,
gonna show up
gonna fall soon.
afterwards. Eventually, they do have more ZZ-Rot portals in the mid lane, but it's gonna be the top tower, I feel, that will fall first. Dude and Yang have pushed them off. The Beatles are charging on forward, and they're gonna be able to take this one down.
Oh, PBO.
PBO taking a lot of damage. PBO, he's gonna fall first. His passive gets popped. Revolta's there to save the day.
They
bounce to
can't
the
kill
top of Carbon. He's been separated from his team. They can't kill PBO, and it's gonna be Carbon that falls first. The rest of the Ezreal have to shift the heck out of there.
This is like playing against a mortar of Zacs right now, just coming in from all angles. The double TP. It's onto the bombs.
Yang's gonna be
Yang
careful
alive.
though. He's still gonna fall.
I thought they kept him alive. They didn't complete the TP. Oh, PBO, dude. I thought it was enough. I thought they were going to arrive. Thought they were going to save the day.
They were trying to be friends, but just didn't quite work out. Meanwhile, someone in the back of this pitch just died to Baron and lost his passive. Not sure which one that is.
Now, I wonder, we've seen it a couple of times. Is it that they're cancelling the TPs, or is it when Yang comes back alive that you just can't, you're not TPing anymore, right? Because it used to be like Javan Flag and Thresh Lantern. Even if the Lantern disappeared, you would still complete the TP onto it. So I assume it's the same thing. I gotta admit, this is where my analysis fails, because I'm not used to seeing Zac with Zac.
Oh, I feel like they're cancelling it, but one that doesn't get cancelled is Yang, who knocks it back with the blast cone! Over the wall for the alley-oop for Revolta!
The Fire Flower comes out. Lots of bouncing in this game. Difficult to keep up with everything. So this was PBO going on to Carbon, or was it Carbon going on to PBO? Again, he shifts forward, does not expect that when his E is not available, the rest of the Swiper's dead.
Meanwhile, Kami just destroying Swiper, slaps him one more time with his rubber hands. He's going to get taken out. It's now 3-9 in favor of the CBLOL team. They've tied up the goal disadvantage they previously had.
Kami's pushing. He's getting the tower. The damage is on. With the ZZ-Rot minions, finally they push another tower. And the inevitable whittling down with 2 Mountain Drakes and 5 ZZ-Rot portals. Zac is on the move.
Well, the Manamunes have been picked up by 3 members of Oceania. Aegis of the Legion actually being picked up by Rosie. That doesn't give your team armor or magic resist anymore, buddy. You're going to have to upgrade that into the locket first.
He just wants it for himself for now, by the looks of it.
Kami taking a lot of, getting a lot of damage down towards Carbon. Radius on the wrong side of the match. They're bouncing all over him. Second knockup's going to come who? The rubber hands are going to be able to slow him down. One more attack's going to be enough. He's so low. They jump. It's not enough, but a Sunfire Gate will pick it up for Dude.
Just not enough mobility for Radier. Swiffer goes on Revolta.
Revolta incredibly low. One more auto attack would take him down, but let's bounce from PBO. He's going to soak up a lot of the damage. Blast Cone gets Revolta over towards the Dragon Pit, but they spot him out. He's now trying to jump away. Rosie can't snipe him off. He's going to have to try and avoid the true shot barrages if they do come out, but Rosie's still chasing on towards PBO.
It's all a distraction, Fish. Look at the top lane.
Oh my goodness.
Look at the top lane. Zach's pushing up there, two of them.
Woo, two Zachs just trying to chip away at this turret. Yang and Dude slowly working on this one. They don't have the rhinoceroses because they're not quite close enough to chip away at this turret, but the rubber hands of the experiments will be as they take down the top lane in a turret.
Taking it down. Zach slowly but surely whittling down. This is Kami going against Carbon. I think Carbon, does he shift? Okay, he shifts out this time, but still not enough to take out Kami. Yeah, I was going to say, Revolta goes back in on this one, so we didn't quite catch the start of it.
Flashes right on top of him, and to add insult to injury, escapes on top of that. So we've got 4 Sunfire Capes being built. Cinderhulk for the side of Revolta, so that kind of counts. 5 Z0 portals. And now here come the Thornmails.
It wasn't a locket that Rosie was looking for. It's a banner. Because that's actually a significantly good way of dealing with Zach, because everything's basically magic.
Yep, then they desperately need some way to deal with all the pushing that's coming up from these Z0 portals.
So basically, we're going to have 5 Z0 portals against inevitably 5 banners of command. It actually is the unstoppable force meets the irresistible object at this point.
Oh, and 3 Mountain Dragons have been picked up by the CBLOL squad. Yeah, if they ever get their hands on these turrets, although they don't do quite much damage to start with, they're going to start to really hurt them. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the rest of Team Fire looking to try and chip away at this mid lane outer turret. Swiffer's the only one there left to deal with them. They don't have very much magic resistance, but still it takes a long time to cut through them. Radier's been jumped on by 2 of the experiments. They're trying to bounce. The flash! Radier! He jukes him like Yang knows! He sniffs trouble, and Radier puts his hands in his head. Yang has a big smile on his face.
Nearly baited him out. Oh, that would have been so good if Radier had done that. That would have been great.
Radier just typing in all chat, how did you know so quickly? Good reaction from Yang there. Here's a replay of that one.
Oh, we have to see that again. Oh, man. I mean, you can just watch. Radier was kiting back. It was so close. He was running. Is it that he fakes running? That's... He baited flashes as well, but if it hadn't have been for those meddling kids. At first he's like, it worked. There's some words I can't repeat in there, but that was his thought process. Couldn't lawyer his way out of that one, unfortunately.
Definitely couldn't. He was caught red-handed by the cops there, and couldn't really represent himself. But still, the CBLOL team, they've actually taken the gold lead here, Stress. It's now 53,000 to 53,000 gold to 50,000 gold in favor of CBLOL. Revolta's right behind Carbon here. Gonna have to be a little bit careful. Charges the elastic slingshot, but doesn't go through. Oh, will still get stunned up by Dude there, but does Arcane shift back to safety. Now, here comes Kami, and there goes Revolta. Gets the let's bounce down. Radier's being jumped on. He'll go take it down. Revolta's legendary. PBO is chasing on towards Carbon, throwing out the rubber hands. They slow him down. He has to shift away, but they're still going through. Revolta jumps. He sidesteps it, but he is able to get the unstable Matter off and to take him down. Swiffer's the next target. Gets killed by the Sunfire Cape as Kami just walks alongside him.
Oh, they may be looking very suave, but the Debonair Ezreals right now are really struggling.
Ooh. Teleport coming on top of the minion just to keep the turret aggro onto an invulnerable minion. Slowly the Relaxer Speedles are taking them down. Yes, the elastic streaks are going in. It's bounce down time. Team Fire on top of Swiper. He's the next one to fall. Rosie's trying to run away, but he's already inside of his own base. Arcane shifts away for 1. The passive pops from Zach, but it's going to be a double kill on over towards one of them. And the ace comes down for CBLOL.
The ace comes through. Oh, the CBLOL team have just completely destroyed the OCE hopes in this game. Oh, first they barely catch Radier, and it's just enough for the Let's Bounces come through, and honestly, that's pretty much everything that sets up this fight. There's a Doctor Who quote that seemingly sums this up very well, is that water seems to always prevail. The erosion of the oceanic base has slowly but surely happened. Time and time again, and now they really are in a difficult situation.
Oh my goodness.
Look at these Thornmails. Look at
five Thornmails being picked up, 5 Z0 portals, a Randuin's for Kami in the mid lane. They just don't really care about Swiffer right now. He's the only AP Ezreal in the squad. Gonna have to do a lot more to try and get past this tanky Zac lineup.
They don't even need the GAs at this point. They're done with that. They already don't die.
I'm just really impressed with the strategy that Brazil has come up going into this all-for-one game.
There's a needlessly large rod for
there
Revolta.
we go,
Here we
Revolta.
go. Finally getting some AP. Some additional AP. Oh, PBO.
Slingshot's coming out. PBO is going to take a lot of damage for that one. Carbon's still going to get hit, but they're going to go down to Bounce Town. He's going to take a lot of damage. Dude will pick up that kill.
Couldn't see him coming. Gets caught out. CB Lawless is going to push this one through. I don't think they're ever going to attempt Baron because that is just going to take far too long.
Well, they're going to put down a couple of the Z0 portals very close to the base. 3 of them, to be precise, being laid down here. Swiffer trying to move out to see if he can poke away at them, but there's just so many Zacs.
The constant stream of minions.
Oh, goodness. I'm pretty sure a teleport's going to come in shortly. One of them's gone back to base.
Here we go.
There's the teleport.
Siege him up.
They're looking for a Revolta over the side. Lands on top of Rosie. Meanwhile, Radius being bouncing as well. Rosie being the force 1 to 4. Swiper's trying to kite backwards. Radius being jumped on, bounced on by PBO. Swiffer going to get knocked up as well, but they're trying to kite back. But look at the inhibitor turret. There's so many beetles chasing them down. Swiffer's going to get locked out. Gets flashed on by Ye. He's trying to flash away, but Revolta's there. Gets the Thunderlord's proc, and it's a double kill being mixed up. 3 Oceanic Ezreals have been taken down.
So many, but they can't let it be because if they want to take this game, they have to just finish off Swiper and Carbon.
Swiper's going to fall. Yang gets courage, and the Colossus stays alive. They're going to take him down. It's an ace for CBLOL.
That's
and
the game.
Rhinoceros Beetles are going to charge in towards the Nexus. That's game for CBLOL. 23-3. They've taken down the Ezreals.
That was a ridiculous game. It's not over yet. They're actually incredibly low, and Rosie is up. It's taken a long time. This is the slowest Nexus kill ever, and there are multiple champions in front of it.
They're using their rubber hands, and eventually will slap away at the Nexus to take it down. They're laughing here. They've come up with an ingenious strategy, and they're going to be the winners of their match against Oceania.
That was an ordeal. That was a long game for the Zacs. A funny game, a fun game. And we just learned Zac is pretty good at 1-for-all.
Oh, well, not only has Swiffer's tweet, all hugs coming out there from the jungler Revolta. But Swiffer's tweet, that's been knocked down completely there by the CBLOL squad. Oceania was saying there was absolutely no counter to Ezreal. It seems like CBLOL had a few things to say about that one.
Yeah, I think we kind of learned the whole, you know, when there's one thing supposedly Oceania say it's really good, it's great, it's amazing.
Don't listen to that one thing.
Maybe it's not quite 100% unbeatable.
It seems like they still can't believe what just happened there because it took a while to ramp up stress, but once we got there, once all the Z0 portals were ready and online, the strategy just came together and meshed really well.
Please, nobody build like this in solo queue. Please. I mean, it's great if that's the only thing on your team and you're against 5 champions who just cannot kill you. Radier, I think, maybe had predicted this because he's just saying, I told you to the rest of his team. Looks like perhaps...
We should have picked Vayne, guys. Vayne would have been a great
I don't even know whether that would have been... Like, it's so difficult to escape 5 Zacs. It's really difficult.
They just hunt you down one after another. Elastic slingshot after elastic slingshot. I mean, we were talking about how arcane shifts could probably get them away, but it just didn't quite work out that way.
That flash from Radier, though. nearly had it.
Almost did. Almost juked them out. But for now, let's hear from Hingers, who's on stage with CBLOL's Yang.
Thank you, Fish. I'm right here now with CB Lols Yang, and oh my goodness, what a fun game. I want to start off by asking about your draft. You went Zach, you went Courage of the Colossus, and you all teleport. What was the strategy behind that?
Eu falo pra você primeiro?
Pode falar pra ele.
Bom, a gente basicamente tossou bastante Champion ontem, mas o Zac foi o que mais deu certo. A gente conseguia perder bastante coisa no early game, mas depois era muito difícil o outro time conseguir fightar a gente. E a gente às vezes hot para segurar as side lanes, então por isso que a gente optou por essa estratégia.
So we had a lot of strategies last night on our screens, and this was the best one that we thought. We built ZZ routes so we can push the side lanes, and we had a lot of struggle during the early game, but after late game, we just knew we got it.
Yeah, because the Oceanic team went in very confident with Ezreal, but obviously it kind of fell apart. Were you guys all intimidated after the picks? Did you think early game, oh, we're going to struggle, or did you think, oh, we've got this?
Na verdade, a gente jogou contra o EZ de Zac, a gente treinou de EZ também, então a gente ganhou a gente foi muito bem no treino de Zac, então a gente não ficou muito surpreso. A gente sabia que ia ficar muito atrás no early game, mas depois de primeiro item e segundo item, assim, não tinha como eles fightarem a gente e basicamente era só fechar o jogo.
So actually, yesterday we had a scrim that we were playing Zac against Israel. So it was nice, amused for us. But we knew that after our first or second item, we knew that we would struggle during the early game. But after that, we just would have it.
Excellent. And finally, I just want to ask, because you guys are good friends with the Oceanic team, do you feel bad for what you've done? Do you feel guilty at all?
Bom, a gente é amigo deles, mas a gente tem que pensar na gente primeiro, né? Então, eu me sinto um pouco mal, assim, porque eles nunca vão muito na frente do Wildcards, mas acontece.
Yeah, we're really good friends, but once we're here on stage, we have to think about ourselves first. I feel a little bad about them because they never seem to get ahead on wildcards, but yeah, that happens.
Excellent. Well, again, thank you so much for talking to us, and congratulations on the win. Best of luck for the rest of the tournament, and now it's time to throw it over to TRjedC to break down that game.
Thank you very much, Hingers. Sadly, I think Yang's pity may be the only thing Oceania win today. But they have another chance. They have 1v1s later today.
Wow. Just straight in there, right from the get-go.
I mean, come on. It's
just
one for all time.
twist it.
Yeah, all right. A little low blow. A little bit of a low blow. But, okay, so that game, was there anything Ezreal's could do there? I mean, it felt like a pretty much just Zac domination.
All 5 mid, super hard push, severe lack of wave clear from the Zac. Their tower pushing ability is weak. You could just cheese it, just go down mid.
They will just get all in. They can.
See,
what, level 1?
Nah. Level 1?
Yeah.
I mean, there's 2 issues. There's like the itemization issues. The fact that the initial power spike for Ezreal is going to be in his favor, but as soon as Zac have, like you were talking about this, Smithy, the 3 items, it just takes Ezreal 6 items before he's able to beat that. And then I want to talk about Rot Portal. That item is so cool against Ezreal because it has mixed damage on it, which is very rare to have, so you can block both the AP and AD Ezreal, as well as the little minions. They actually act as vision because you get vision for one of the little rhinoceroses as they go around. So.
But also, Ezreal sucks at wave clear, so it takes him years to kill those.
All right. What Ezreal does not suck at, however, is some absolutely fantastic jukes. So while we don't have a whole lot of redeeming replays from this game, we do have this one particular outplay by Radier.
This was just so much fun to watch because we were all seeing it like, oh, well, Raider's dead, he's dead, and then he walks down, flashes, and then the immediate bait. And if you hear the casters afterwards, they're actually saying Raider in all chat typed, how did you know so fast?
You can see his reaction there. On point. Of course.
I thought he was safe for a second.
Yeah, and I think I'm curious if we'll see more Zac today, but I think for now, let's just take a chance to look at the now updated standings after that win coming in for Team Fire. So remember now that Turkey is locked tomorrow. You can see them 3-0, and of course they are 4-1 in their 1v1 record. So they have guaranteed at least a spot tomorrow. Which spot we'll still find out. Japan second, Brazil in third, but hot on the heels of Japan and Southeast Asia coming in at fourth as well.
So the 1v1s later is going to be really important for Southeast Asia if they still want to stand a chance because they can tie it up with Brazil, and if they do, then we end up with, or is it head-to-head, or do they play another best-of-5 1v1 to determine that?
When they're
it's head-to-head, isn't it, on the 1v1s?
Yeah.
Yeah, which means that Oceania can still get the last laugh. Like, Brazil may have stopped us this time, but we can still You know what I mean?
We could accidentally lag for 5 games, and what a shame that would be.
Okay,
for
let's
them.
not assume anything quite that bad. Let's take a chance to look at those ice standings as well to keep you guys updated on those. Just not to twist the knife this time, just to keep people updated. Proskar.
Yeah, and on the other side, like we said, it's who's going to be Jack and who's going to be Rose. Latin America South and CIS are still hot on their heels, but unfortunately for Latin America North and the OPL, things are looking very, very dire. They've pretty much gone down with the ship already.
But even then, it's still not entirely impossible for Oceania to not get out.
It's definitely, is it?
No,
because they can still get 1
a win,
and 3.
and then everyone else
Can lose. That's
And
true.
everyone else can lose. And if they go 5-0 in their head-to-head,
All right,
maybe
we've got the
It's
theoretical.
very, very hard.
We'll run you through the theoretical dream circumstance if we make it that far. But for now, we're gonna make like Zach and bounce.
That was actually pretty good and very relevant. It was.
But when we come back, Turkey from Team Fire will be heating up against Latin America South in our third one for all of the day. Don't go anywhere.
He's still going.
He teleports onto it. Dude's going to try and save the day. Yang comes back up. Teleport gets hit, but Radiant still picks up the kill. Revolta and Yang on top of it.
Swiffer's
They're bouncing. Swiffer, he's going to get knocked down here. Rosie's now getting over the wall to see if he can help him out. The last shift's going through. The rubber hands are there. Revolta is unstoppable. You can see Swiffer has his hands in his head. Radiant's been jumped on by 2 of the experiments. They're trying to bounce. The flash! Radiant! He jukes him like Gandos! He sniffs trouble.
Ben buraya gelmeyi gerçekten istiyordum. Geçen sene de bizim için bir hayal kırıklığı olmuştu. Çok talihsiz bir şekilde Amerika'daki All-Star'ı kaçırmıştık. Yani buraya gelmek güzel bir şey. Sonuçta ne bileyim bir şekilde ülkenizi temsil ediyorsunuz burada takım arkadaşlarınızla beraber.
Dark Passage kadrosundan 4 kişi var. Şu anda yeni Supermassive şu anki kadrosundan 3 kişi var. O yüzden bir de hep beraber oynadığımız için daha önceden Dumble hariç 4 kişinin sinerjisi çok yüksek. Dumble da zaten ayak uydurabiliyor.
Bütün yıl boyunca rekabet ettiğimiz takımdan oyuncularıyla hani şu an aynı takımda oynamak benim için bir sorun değil. Daha doğrusu zevkli bir şey diyebilirim çünkü hani ne kadar farklı oyuncuyla oynarsan o kadar fazla tecrübe kazanıyorsun. Farklı hani görüşlerle oyuncuların nasıl konuştuğunu anlıyorsun, yeni şeyler ekliyorsun sürekli kendine. O yüzden hani rekabetten çok zevkli olduğunu söyleyebilirim.
Bizim takımın en büyük avantajı bence hepimizin yani Avrupa sunucusunda daha önce Challenger olması. Yani düzgün bir serverda oynuyoruz, mekanik seviyesi yüksek bir serverda oynuyoruz. O yüzden mekaniklerimiz daha iyi seviyede aslında.
Lig Türkiye Ligi olunca tabii ki de bilirsin milliyetçilik kanı bizde çok damardan gelir. O yüzden hani Türkiye'yi temsil etmek, yurt dışında başarılı olmak en baştaki önceliklerimizden.
Bu takım olarak yaptığımız her şey Türkiye'yi temsil ediyor direkt olarak. Eminim ki diğer hani bütün oyuncular da aynı şeyi düşünüyordur. Ve de ben şahsen hani en iyi şekilde temsil etmek için elimden geleni yapacağım.
Yollarken gerçekten Türk milleti bir Türk takımını yurt dışına yollarken çok iyi destekliyor. Biz de bunların karşılığını vermek istiyoruz en iyi şekilde. Asıl All-Star'a kalıp hani bütün dünyaya bayrağımızı, takımımızı, her şeyi göstermek istiyoruz.
Welcome back to Barcelona. We've dragged VIωρίT back to the desk, and Turkey is about to take on Latin America South in our next one-for-all matchup. Now, as with most of the matchups today, the stakes here are pretty high for both sides as well.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, if LAS win, then Oceania is out. They're done so. I'm afraid for us, that will be it for your hopes and dreams. I can hear Rusty just saying, another day in the office for him. But it's a shame really because I feel like there's so much pride in the Oceanic team. I know every time I speak to Spawn,
okay, we talk about Oceania in every segment. Talk to me about Latin America. Their pride matters too.
Of course, their pride matters too. They are a very talented team. I feel like they've surprised quite a few people. I, for one, didn't really expect them to come out as strong as they have done. But they have had they've done a very good job.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think the last two international wildcard events, they came 7th in both of them. Last time they were invited to All-Stars, however, they did get 3rd. They come in here as like total underdogs, like really off the radar, because everyone's looking at CIS, Turkey, Japan now really being surprising, and Brazil is kind of your top favorites, and no one expected these guys to come out and just blow people up.
Of course, the additional fact there is that if Turkey win here, they do lock first seed, and of course the players are now almost ready to pick their champions, so let's hand it over to our casters to get this one-for-all started.
Thank you so much, Sifu. We are getting ready to go here on the caster desk, and I have brought Rusty along with me. Of course, my name is Richard Pulse Cam, and we are getting ready here and getting underway for another one-for-all fiesta.
It definitely is a fiesta, I think the best way to describe it. We've seen a couple of interesting matchups so far, and who knows what's going to happen next.
Who knows, Rusty, but we are getting set for our third match of the day, so let's take a look at the players lining up to compete. Beginning with the Turkish squad representing Team Fire, it will be Elwind in the top lane representing Dark Passage. In the jungle, Crystal from Team Aurora. Mid lane, Naru from Supermassive. Zeitnot as ADC from Dark Passage. And their support, who could forget, Dumbledoge from Supermassive.
A super team in and of itself, but on the opposition side from Team Ice is Latin America South. And in the top lane for this team is Helior from Furious Gaming, Kratos in the jungle from Isurus Gaming, Plugo from Chaos Latin Gamers, Rangelus from Hafnet Esports, and Bear, their support from Chaos Latin Gamers also.
Absolutely two powerhouse teams. Of course, Turkey only really playing for seeding here, as they have done very well so far in the tournament. If they win this game, they will lock that first seed. Whereas on the opposite side, if they win, something less than stellar happens for some people here on the caster team.
Yeah, there is a chance that LAS play for that first seed, and Oceania is entirely removed from the tournament's contention whatsoever. Of course, Turkey, they may be already in that first seed. There's a lot of pride that is on the line. You heard it in their video before, talking about how important it is for them to represent their region properly. But because they're already considered in that top spot, they're qualifying. I said who knows what we might see. We might see something absurd.
We might. I mean, from what we've seen already today, we saw the Zac. I knew we were going to see Zac come up, because you take a look at the champions, it's like, who's the tankiest, most obnoxious champion on the list? Zac. You can't kill him. They actually had a really cool strategy ready to go. The Brazilians just like brought out the ZZ Rot and used that as the method of pushing, and Ezreal just couldn't do anything. And actually, a lot of those champions on the list can't do anything against Zac.
I think it was a big mind game as well between Brazil and Oceania. Of course, very close friends. We saw them hugging it out after the games had ended. There's a very real chance that they knew Ezreal was coming and they had a plan ready to go.
All right, so what's it going to be? We've been kind of doing a little bit of theory crafting on what could be brought out, of course. Lee Sin, Graves was the first matchup, followed by Ezreal and Zac. So those have been taken. So are we going to see something new or something along the same lines?
I certainly hope it's not Vayne. Of course, that could be very exciting. I'd say there's at least lots of kills and deaths everywhere to be seen, as our Ice side have got their eyes set on Corki.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the AD carry, you have to feel there'll be a lot of Vayne spawning going on if they do decide to lock in the Vayne. Corki, on the other hand, I mean, I guess you can have like a hybrid, you can have like ADs and AP carries, and I guess a tank,
Dumbledore's
and an initiator as well.
No, two of them have rebelled, but Ezreal wins in the end.
Okay. So Ezreal once again. Ezreal will probably have a much better time against Corki, which has been locked in for the Ice lineup. All right, so an AD carry game, and two AD carries who can build both AP and AD.
Yeah, so we're going to see a lot of potentially mixed damage. I'm a big fan of both of these champions because I like to build the AP alternatives myself. I'm a firm believer that the Corki AP build is very strong. But both of them also want to scale and get their items, so we could be here for the long haul. I guess it comes down to how they start to play these games out, because AD carries against AD carries, they always have, you know, lifesteal, ranged auto attack damage. They've got pretty good wave clear to speak of, and it's very hard to get things going as a group.
It actually just depends on the item builds and how they decide to play out the game, because if they do decide to go for like AP builds, you'll see Ezreal's just going in constantly, there'll be a lot of kills, or if they go for more of like a blue build, then yeah, you're looking at more sustained backline damage, trying to poke away at the Corki. Corki does the same thing, goes in for the missile barrage as his way of harass, and then we have like a siege game. So it really just depends on how the players are feeling today and how they want to build.
I'm most excited as well for the packages that Corki will be getting around that 8-minute mark, because 5 of them getting a package. I don't know how it works, but like, firstly, how do they look in the spawn? And are there 5 packages?
That's
and
true.
Can only one person pick up the package if there's only one? And who actually gets priority? There's a really big question mark on that.
We are going to find out. I want to see if someone goes like a kind of tankier build as their initiator, and they just send in initiator Corki to get things rolling onto the Ezreals. But we'll find out. So, funny enough, the compositions, all Ezreal and all Corki. At this point, usually I'd be asking you for a breakdown of the lineup, but I think it's a little bit different in this one.
I guess we have to firstly look at the skin battle that we'll be seeing. So a lot of Pulsefire Ezreals on the side of the TCL. The opposition actually has Arcade Corki everywhere. So personal fan of this. And look at the... They're walking in a line. Oh, it's amazing.
Do a barrel roll. Get in there.
Oh, one did. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
They actually do barrel rolls when walking.
Well, some of the Ezreals have mastered the emote spam, and I think we're going to have a head-to-head.
Oh, no.
Kratos getting bodied with these Qs coming in from Team Fire. And Nari is going to be leading the charge into the jungle. Fast bombs are coming out. Zeitnot does not want any of this. And they're going to back to base. They are sitting on top of a ward, though, so any Corki who hasn't used their fast bomb already can stop all of this. Wara wants it, but he's getting zoned away by the flurry of Mystic shots coming from Team Fire.
The recall animation spam as well coming out of the TCL team. I don't know if they actually ever do want to recall. They're just praising the Ezreal gods.
They are praising something. Not sure if it's the sun.
They could have hologram dance battles too.
They could. But they have learned how to spam the
lasers.
remotes.
Yeah.
One is bad enough.
I'm not enjoying watching all of these.
No, it is. It's very much hurting my head.
Oh man,
all right, thank you. Thanks so much, observers, for getting us away from that. Let's see if Corki has another obnoxious emote to spam. All right, so we do have a split in terms of keystones for at least some of the Ezreals, going for that further battle versus Thunderlord. So you can expect the Thunderlords maybe to be going towards a more AP-centric build, where the Corkis maybe just all going AP.
Yeah, there's a very real chance they do. Of course, the Gatling gun also instantly proccing Thunderlords, AP or AD aside. Deathfire touches considerable amounts of damage, but again, they're against Ezreal, so this is where the difference between Ezreal Master is and what Corki's want has come to play here. You don't necessarily need that Warlords, they just want to do more AD damage.
You've got to feel as well, if you're the Corki players on this one, it's just like, maybe I do want more AP just in terms of our lineup. Maybe we have one guy who goes AD, but if the Ezreals decide to go for like an Iceborne Gauntlet or a more traditional quote-unquote Ezreal build, then going for AP might help them out.
Yeah, there's a very real chance, of course. One thing we have to, I guess, severely point out is the ability that an Ezreal has to jungle. We saw it highlighted in how effective it can be. In that last game, one champion that cannot do it is Corki. Can't really kite the camps, doesn't really have a lot to offer, and will run very low whilst doing the jungle.
Here comes the level 3 Crystal gang from the jungle, and they're going all in onto Plugo. He's going to have to burn his flash. And Fire come out victorious in that one. Talking about jungling, Kratos is giving it his damnedest. He is giving it a good shot.
Yeah, he tried the red.
It didn't work out very well.
Now the red's potentially going to...
Whoa, Wara dropping low. He'll have to flash away, but as the first blood coming in, Zeitnot will finish him up. Bear not going to be so lucky. Flashed after. Double dodge. There's the auto attack onto the minion. One kill at least to the lineup, but... always at the second.
That's a hands-off keyboard moment from Dumbledore. Auto attacks a minion and instantly holds position. It's the sign of someone who might be tilted already. And at 3 minutes in the game, the Turkish side showing how strong Ezreal can be in comparison to Corki.
Usually Dumbledore is the tilter though. He flicks tilt upon other people, but we'll see that one more time.
Yeah, we do get to see this. The E forwards, I believe it was, from the Ezreal that secures it. Just a lot of initial upfront burst that actually locks down the kill, basically, where this is, you can see the exact moment that he hit a minion and realized that he made a big mistake and held position.
Well, the ganks continue from Crystal. Heliot having to flash away. He's burning out from the red buff, but it's not going to be lethal.
You've got minions, run, Plugo.
Yeah, did not want to be between that tower and the wall there, so we'll Valkyrie back behind his minions. I want to see how Kratos is doing, because he is currently on 6 CS, which is not many camps cleared.
He did get the red after a recall. Okay. He took it on. Second time was the charm, at least.
Well, he's got that going for him, which is nice.
I think the difference as well is he started at the blue buff. Yeah. He didn't get as efficient a clear as Crystal.
That's true. Yeah, Crystal, that was crystal clear. Bot lane, Dunwall Doge. The instant damage coming out from the Thunderlord's proc.
I'm not sure why they're Corki. You know, all things considered.
That's what I said yesterday when Edward locked it in against Tam Kench. The idea in theory is good, but
And if they do go AP, they want level 16, because that's when they're the strongest.
Not sure how I feel about a game in 1-for-all when you're saying, my power spike is at level 16.
Well, okay, so like AP Corki is like the old AP Kog'Maw, right? Like, you're good, like you still do stuff. When you hit 16, you win the game.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking for if they go AP.
So we're talking more of like a time bomb, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas Ezreal's just always good until he gets a tier, and then maybe Corki gets a sheen to the tier.
He drops off a little bit.
Yeah.
And he gets better again. Crystal.
Good game.
Third time's the charm, perhaps, onto Plugo. He knows he doesn't have flash. There's the Valkyrie. There's a double jump forwards. Followed up by Mystic shots. Crystal looking for the last auto. Finds him. Plugo will bite the dust. 2-0 to TCL.
Everywhere we look, there is an Ezreal winning. Even the jungle camps are beating the Corki right now, except that he's bottom. He has red buff, and they are low.
Uses the popcorn to get into lane. Will follow up with his E. Dumbledore's taking a lot of damage. He'll have to sacrifice himself. But Zeitnon not going to be lucky either. Kratos and Bear coming in.
The cannon.
Minions. Oh, Bear! He gets executed. No one damaged him.
Bear dies to minions. How embarrassing. But they do get the kill, so Corki's biting back.
Hang on, Nora
and
just
Kratos
finished off Kratos, yeah, sure. Top lane trading blows. Helior up against Elwind. And we're only 6 minutes in and 5 kills. Okay, here's a replay of the bottom lane. All right, hopefully we see what happens mid lane too.
Yeah, so lots of damage, honestly, but the heal was good. Zeitnot trying really hard to get the kills, tanks a little bit too much. And that's where the, I guess the explosive planned play from Kratos comes in. Doesn't have to use his Valkyrie to get over the wall. And so he has it to close the distance and use that red buff effectively. Gets a kill on Dumbledore. Zeitnot realizes that there's no escape after this flash and uses his minions. But his minions wanted Bear, not Kratos. And he didn't hit Bear. Scumbag minions.
That was a lot of damage.
It was, actually.
He had a lot of health left. Oh, man. Well, that's pretty good for you, Rusty. You are TCL Rusty in this game, for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
That's the result you want.
It is, yes. As an Oceanic member.
Yeah.
Unbiased caster, Oceanic member.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's analyze some of these builds here, as much as analysis can go. Double tier coming through.
Yeah, 2 AP Ezreals. I believe in Dumbledoge, who's going straight to the AP build, different to the last one that we saw from Rosie. But in a Lichbane rush, actually, as well, from Naru. So they will have mixed damage, which is good. It's not like a Corki's going to build resistances, though, so it doesn't matter too much in that respect. On the other side, they haven't actually bought a whole lot. I'm expecting Kratos to be the AP Corki. But, you know, that's an AMP tome, so we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see about that one. Bear's just like, I just came to this tournament for fun. I'm going to be a support. Has picked up the Frostbang.
Here we go.
Hit by the banana. Mystic shot.
Oh,
Another
no.
banana goes
Oh, no.
wide. Elwind, dodgeball champion, Helior 2016, will live another day.
That was a lot of damage.
Kratos is closing in, coming into the bot lane.
Whoa,
Bear in with the initiation, but he's taking a lot of damage in return. Dumbledore will go hard and go in, but not come back out. Zeitnot being followed down, and the fast bomb not landing will be the end of that one.
Zeitnot
Kratos,
wants that.
perhaps in kill range. Zeitnot with a decent amount of mana left, and E
He's
coming
6.
up any second.
He just ticked 6. Watch the ulti.
He's got the ultimate.
Oh no, where's he gonna aim?
Oh! Doesn't get any of them. Did burn the flash. Plugo
this is really-
closing in.
He has been
Zeitnot,
baited.
Not long for this world.
He's
gonna
all
have to
in,
go
he's all in.
Yeah. Oh, he finds Wara! Okay, he still had heal, by the way.
He made the best out of that, I suppose. Yeah, no, give Zeitnot credit for that one.
Yeah.
There was someone flanking him, so he had no choice but forward, or he would just die going backwards, as the answer has been there. One package.
Maybe they're stacked on top of each other. We have to just, like, stay up there and take a look.
Okay, they are stacked. Yep, they're stacked. There's a lot of packages on top of each other.
Yeah.
We just saw one of them use theirs, so that explains everything.
Ah. I was wondering why it was so yellow.
It was super yellow, yeah. All right. They aren't exactly using them in unison just yet, but they have them.
I feel like you have to, right? Like, as soon as they spawn, you're going 5 Corkies. Like, that's the crux of your strategy.
But like, the Ezreal's response right now should be to freak out and run away every single time, because the second they pick up a package, it announces it to you.
That is true, but I just want it. I just want an awesome moment when all Corkies group up, form a V, and just charge at the Ezreals.
They could make like a
budget
tic-tac-toe
Yeah.
board almost.
they could do that. Kratos coming in with his first package, Wara and Bear following up with the damage. Nana goes wide, lands onto Bear. Crystal now coming in as well.
Ezreal
Tossing out
ults.
his own true shot barrage right through the goalpost. Kratos running away. Wara's going to body block for him. And the missiles, the back and forth, the war of attrition. Bear comes out on top.
Oh, here he goes. Plugo is just clearing minions. That's one more package down. And the best thing about the package, right, is you can just do Dragon with them. Like, if they actually saved it as 5. I think they got a little bit trigger happy and decided to do it early. The amount of skill shots as well, something we haven't really addressed. The winner of this game is the one that hits their skill shots better.
The winner of this game is whoever was best at dodgeball in high school. Plugo, Kratos. They both head over the wall. Crystal looking for an out. Finds 2 Corkies behind him. Jumps over the wall. Flash into Zeitnot.
Oh no, this is
but
dodgeball.
Okay, this is not a place you particularly want to be. Bear's going to come in. Can't dodge auto attacks. Crystal now also under fire. But Naru and Dumbledore here to assist. Kratos called out. He's going to have to flash away, but will still meet his end.
He's ghosted.
Double Valkyrie, triple Valkyrie.
That would
Naru
hurt.
does not want to be stepping in that. And Dumbledore trying to kite after them, but not going to happen. So 6-6 currently in this game. Many kills have gone down. Many skill shots, many missed skill shots.
There's just so many skill shots, Pulse, every single second. 3 Corkies throwing their ultimates. But again, we're waiting for those levels on the Corkies. Naru's the biggest deal, I think, at the moment, though. The AP Ezreal.
Oh! See you later.
Speaking of, thank you, Naru.
Rest in peace, Bear.
4-0-1. That'll be his Lichbane. We'll have to see if he gets anything else with that. Doesn't look like he's going for a tier build by skipping it. Different to the Oceanic team, and we get to watch something that happened top lane. Oh yes, Elwind. He's been outplayed. See who's
He was
in the
definitely
shop.
not looking in that place.
Yep. Here comes Naru, and again, the AP has Ghost, so scares the crap out of them, and watch the damage he takes.
Yeah, the thing I love about this game mode is that when a replay comes up, I actually don't know what the replay is going to be of, because there's so much action, and in between those actions, like, which fight are we going to see over the last, like, 30 seconds?
Yeah, did not even know that he died top lane, to be perfectly honest with you, because of all the
notice.
fighting. Coincidentally, at the same time on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah,
Naru
died. Good to know.
does work. Again.
Okay, so how are the Ezreal? Oh, never mind. Bear's coming in. Bear's coming in hot. Valkyrie into Valkyrie. Elwind taking a bunch of damage from the big one. There's another one. But meanwhile, on the opposite side of the map, of course, Wired's going in onto Crystal. Kratos following after as well. Another Valkyrie, yet another one. And True Drop doesn't come off in time, but they're going to close in on Double Doge. This should be an easy double for Double Doge.
Oh, he stopped a rocket.
In place. Plugo coming in onto Double Doge. The fish will eat the smaller fish, and in comes Zeitnot to kill off the last Corki, and there's no more Corkis. There's a triple kill coming out.
One by one they march in, and one by one they all start to fall, but everybody's dying everywhere except top lane, where Bear and Helio are able to push Elwind back, and they are looking for a structure. So a strategy is finally here for the LAS region.
Yeah, well, they're going to take the tower. That's good. And now leading in gold, so we have some semblance of a strategy indeed. All right, so who was the first victim? Wara goes in onto Crystal.
Yeah, again, he's a Vayne, so he's always going to go forwards.
Yeah.
And pay attention to all of the miskill shots that start to make the distance here. The difference, not the distance. There's definitely no distance involved.
He didn't go to distance for sure.
And this is one in particular where Angelus throws the rocket, accidentally dodges. And that's why Dumbledoge eventually will fall also, because the return damage that came out of an accidental dodge was too real.
But then so will Plugo. So
yeah.
Zeitnot
Another package
will
though.
win. Okay, Helior.
They really should synchronize their package cycles.
I'm a little sad that they didn't. I feel like there is a point in the game, maybe mid-game, maybe that level 16 power spike where they'll all decide to go for it. This is a bit ridiculous. There's the Ezreal ultimate coming down into the bottom lane through the river. It's pretty great though, seeing all these mechs just go in against the Dragon. Dumbledoge does not want to be here right now.
This is disgusting.
Needs to run away real fast. Well, Arcane shift out. Return. Oh, hello.
That was a bit off.
Yeah.
Helior also has no
wide.
health to his name, so maybe could have aimed that way. Still has no health to his name.
Bit of clenching going on in the bot lane. I think we're good. 10 to 10 currently. 1,000 gold advantage. Plugo going in, but it's the bottom lane where Wara wants blood. He wants that Ezreal.
He's not going to get it.
There's a minion wave in the way.
There is indeed. Now there's a Runic Echo, something we haven't mentioned. Kratos is the AP. Corki in question, as is Bear. Ooh. They all lose a lot of their health. I'm still waiting for that moment also where the Ezreals collapse together.
Plugo's just dead. Naru with the outplay. He's the biggest dead draw right now, but Helior wants to avenge his fallen comrade, former squadron member.
Watch the... Oh, nah, never mind. I was going to say watch the damage because he is an AP Ezreal. He's also going the hybrid build, so he'll be doing a lot of Q damage when he connects with the Lichbane and the Revolver.
He's got to hit something first, though.
He does.
Wara. All right, form up, squad. Let's take some towers. Crystal. He's here for tower defense, but he has buttered Ezreal. And Zeitnot, probably not the angle he wants to be coming into mid lane right now.
I guess it makes sense, though, that the Ezreals and Corkis should all be not standing next to each other. Because, again, the AoE skill shots that each team actually presents to their opponent is quite serious. So interestingly enough, we might see like 3 different flanks, and then it becomes a matter of who's flanking who until someone dies.
That does make most sense.
That's what I do anyway. Like, but at the end of the day, there's Ezreal and Corkis and can instantly die.
That's true. Plugo with the quote-unquote initiate, did not want any of those skill shots coming in. All of the ultimates are available from the Ezreals, so if someone is at 100%, they're in kill range.
Yeah, they're starting to... so there's 3 of them, roughly 4 of them mid. I think they're waiting on Naru's, which is the biggest differentiator for the Ezreal ultimates.
Left, yeah, it should be up in like now.
So now they group in. If they find an opportunity to do exactly this as a team...
Ooh, that happens. They only needed 1, and the rest of an Ezreal's combo. Helior forces Dumbledoge back not only back, he's dead. I didn't even see him disappear. So a 1-for-1, both quote-unquote supports dead in this game.
Oh, Dumbledore's just dead.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I thought the arcane shifted away. It turns out he was just dead.
But the siege continues, so we'll see if this can be prevented by a single Corki coming in that should get ulted by Ezreal's.
Kratos does have ultimate, but I'm not sure he wants to go in on that. Tower's dead. Mid-tower down. Okay.
I would never advise running teleport against 5 Ezreals because the damage that'll come out when you give them 5 seconds of notice actually scares me. Like, I'm clenching for them. As we get to watch Bear instantly die to a combo.
Bear's like, I'm alright. I've got most of my health.
I'm not alright.
I didn't have most of my health. Oh, and there's Dumbledore. There's Naru getting shut down, though.
Few
Bear comes in
packages.
for the old drive-by.
This is the biggest package I've ever seen.
Oh, Dumbledore's just going AP as well. Yeah, that hurts. Nice Valkyrie from Bear. Good reactions. And this red buff, probably pretty important for the Ezreal squad. They will secure. Oh no, Bear! He needs to get out of dodge. Guara is going to pop the blast pan, but Dumbledore finds him. Goodbye, Bear. Side nod as well. Crystal chiming in for the kill. Plugo, skill shots going wide, going awry. And after that, I can't tell who has the advantage because Plugo's going in after.
No one.
Oh, he's bleeding out. There's the red buff. Told you it was a good one for the Ezreal.
I think at this stage, while we're saying, you know what, these champions really good with having levels, the exact same time we have to remember that as they get levels, their opposition gets levels, they die quicker, and basically everyone kills everyone, they meet in the middle, and nothing eventuates because they just meet in the middle.
Yep.
We're waiting for someone to die near a turret so that something falls, and at this stage LAS are doing better than the Turkish team at that, because we get to see a lot of damage come out constantly from every direction. Really is like a snowball fight.
It is,
just
but
lobbing stuff everywhere.
Made of plasma, and they hurt.
In rockets.
Yeah, and rockets.
So it's not. It's a snowball fight.
It's a futuristic snowball fight. There they are. He's got his ultimate. Oh, he's got his package. I'm still waiting for the package play. Like, I'm sure they have something prepared. You don't pick Corki and then say, you know what, it's gonna go in 1-by-1. Just gonna pop my package whenever I feel like.
Currently, no packages available. It's a right shame.
What else could you do for 5 packages? You could box them in.
I think, yeah, you could like bait the Baron, which is impossible as Corkies. You know what?
He was just having a stroll down river. It's like, I'm gonna go back.
Nowhere is safe. There is no such thing as safe on Summoner's Rift against global AP Ezreal ultimates.
Those things come up fast as well, because they're constantly hitting things with their Qs.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. Cooldown reduction, so having like a Sheen in your item build, every Ezreal generally will have one of those, means you can throw it out more often. Lucidity also for Naru, so the AP Ezreal is going to have a lot of them.
It's also a mixed bag of damage, right? I'm going to hold that for a second, because I want to just see Ben wander down.
Dumbledore, I believe. Nope, that was Naru. That was Dumbledore.
It's like,
so much damage.
Which one do I dodge? Because one of them is going to hurt significantly more than the other True Shot Barrage. So if you have the choice of dodging one, it's like, I'm taking a 50-50.
You don't know which one's going to do more damage in the end.
Is this the AP one or is this the support one? I don't know.
At least with Corki, it's red. Yeah. It's like, you know that one's going to hurt more anyway, so dodge that.
Exactly. And for the most part, they're all going to hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, Kratos has a GLP 800.
He does.
Fair enough, dude.
You do you.
You're a free spirit. What?
I guess he sets up his allies as well. He will be jumping in there.
I look forward to
Super Soaker.
I look forward to the package being used so that he can get in range of the GLP, but otherwise...
Douse him down, and everyone else can land their rockets. Yeah, exactly. We need to see some Ezreals essence flux each other.
All the attack speed.
Yeah.
All right, Plugo's ready.
They'll rip apart a tower. They actually have pretty good tower pushing if they're grouped up. Oh.
Plugo was ready.
Yeah, Plugo's going in. So is Helior.
Oh, good flash.
Coming in. Do a barrel roll. Dumbledore ultimate three! Finds one, looking for the second, but Kratos with a flank. Crystal finds one onto Plugo. Helior with a return kill. Kratos chiming in as well, but he's ticking down from the red buff. I think he's
alive.
Good, question mark.
Yeah, so he's just barely alive. Naru not actually going to be there, just throws the ultimate out. Essentially the biggest difference, you'd have to say. Helior also not having his teleports. Everything's just chaos. And there are a lot of packages now available. So they can rinse and repeat. And these Corkies are actually starting to push further ahead.
Uh-oh. Wara, bucket, cheese it. Here comes the police. Here comes Naru. Nah, there's no chance.
There is no opportunity to run from all of that damage. Even pops the cutlass in between all of this. It really is filthy. Just watching all of the damage that they do and the damage that they also take. Like, this is absolute man mode synergy. Good flash from Plugo as well to dodge Ezreal ultimates, and you have to kind of keep your eyes where the heck is Naru's ultimate if it's available, because that would kill everybody.
That's true.
And it misses everybody.
Oh, we found it. Oh, meanwhile, there was a fight in top lane.
Oh, shot.
Yeah.
That was a really good shot.
Yeah. Goodbye, Elwin. Elwin's not had a great game.
No.
But he is playing like a top laner. He's only been sitting in top lane. I don't think he's moved anywhere else, to be honest.
There's very sound logic to say that, you know, playing Ezreals is fine because most people could play the Ezreals, but top laners maybe not familiar with the champion. Mid laners usually play at AP when they're an AD carry event. Good night.
That was a brave play, but Kratos might be able to reclaim a kill. Or not. He's pretty dead. Wara was attempting to come in with the package, but his two allies are just lemming their way in, and unfortunately dead.
They have a lot of wave clear though. Like, the Ezreals have a pretty hard time. They will get it, but it doesn't make it easy.
No. The tower was luckily very low, and it wasn't out of tower, so they had that going for them. Zeitnot, the rockets. Needs to be careful. Oh, that's actually smart. The Cross Queen's claim.
Yeah.
From Bear, yeah.
It actually is very smart as well.
He saw the montage play, and he got the 1-for-1. So, that's all right.
Won't go in the montage.
No.
Unfortunately.
He saw it.
Naru does not have his ultimate. Does have flash, and it is Bear, so
anything could happen.
The damage is potentially available. Also, these guys going Hex Drinkers. I'd just like to highlight that I don't appreciate defensive items in an AD carry-off.
Nope. Vedius, I'm sure it's going to go hard on them.
It's understandable if you want to survive, but if you could just dodge the skill shots, you wouldn't have that problem.
Alternatively, you could get good. And there you go. That's the solution.
Absolutely.
Helior. He's waiting in the wings. Waiting for this gank onto mid lane. However, I wouldn't want to gank Naru because you're not the Predator in this situation.
He has a Hextech Gunblade. The package doesn't mean that much when he one-hits you.
7, 2, and 3. Quite big.
He almost needs a Void Staff already, too. That's a shame. It really is a shame.
Yep. Naru, big damage. Helior. He's going to have to burn the package at some point. I'm still waiting for the squadron play. Dormado's on the way back. He's going full AP. Dormado's is a man of the people.
Yeah, again, like, we're looking at the Ezreal builds this game, and this is almost much more expected, but what are you going to build against Zax in comparison to against a Corki?
Exactly.
You have to try and shred them. Whereas this game, you just want to do damage.
Oh, no. Oh, that actually was not as bad as I was expecting it to be from Plugo.
Damn Hex Drinkers.
Ruining our fun.
Oh, he had no Hex Drinker that time. It's only other Ezreal. Crystal has ulti.
Just standard 14 HP.
Snipe him.
Don't worry about it. Clay toss. All right, we're playing battleships right now. We found a clay toss.
Damn. Oh, it was going to spawn too. Does it?
Oh, okay. I like
Man
the
can
idea.
dream. Yeah.
Didn't have the scripts running. Okay, here come the Essence Fluxes onto the Ezreals. But here comes
Helior with a teleport flag.
But he doesn't have his package. Kratos does, though. He goes in. There's lots of rockets flying everywhere. There's lots of skill shots. Things are happening here, Rusty. Helior, he's getting hit in the side. Kratos looking to follow after as well. What? He's back
No one dies but Plugo.
I feel like he also just died in the crossfire, to be honest. I don't think anyone was particularly aiming for him. Naru shut down. See you later, raid boss. Wara finds the double kill. Look at me. I am the AD carry of this team, regardless of the game mode, Crystal. He's hunting. He's waiting. He's got his ultimate.
Corkies are at the Baron, though. I wonder if Crystal will notice this. It appears that they trust in their ability to do this.
This is actually the perfect time to go for a Baron, because so many Ezreal ultimates are down. There's less of a steal chance.
Yeah, and Helior can tank. No, he can't. He's going to...
Man, one Naru ultimate will kill everyone.
That's
Crystal
one
coming in. That's one. Looking for the second. Zeitnot and Crystal,
all
the tag team
dead.
from heaven. Helior, he goes down. Ultimate comes across through the goalpost. Zeitnot onto Kratos. Will be coming out on top. Wara. He's low, but not dead. He's recalling. He's being revealed. No chance. Crystal puts him on the floor.
Yeah.
4-4-0. TCL taking the advantage.
It was a nice idea going for the Baron. I will give them that much. However, first thing we have to note is the explosive plant, pure embarrassment that came out of one of the members of LAS. Honestly, I don't remember at this stage. There's 5 Corkies. It's hard to keep up. And because he only went on the spot, he had to use his Valkyrie to get over the wall. And then he was stuck in the pitters. Now it's Turkey's chance. Or attempt as Plugo's spotting them.
Oh, he's rocking. Just one Corki, maybe enough to disrupt this. Plugo! Oh, he's getting hit a bunch, but he's got the Hex Drinker. Double Dose with a 1v1 and a finish off. Ultimate Team return onto the Baron, who should be able to take it out. Bear is on the hunt. He's feeling grizzly. No, he's backing away. Okay.
This is where you want the packages, Pulse. They're not able to get there. 27 minutes in the game, capitalizing on a mistake from Ice's LAS team. They get a Baron themselves.
They had the potential to completely stop that Baron in its tracks with those packages. Coming straight from base, would have had enough time. But even the fact that a team managed to take Baron is a feat in itself.
Here we go. You have to watch the Corki. Helior, I'm helping. I'm not helping. You're dead. Now I've got no Valkyrie left, and I'm stuck tanking the Baron while my team dies. That's your Kodak moment, Helior. Zeitnot does do a lot of work here, and also good use of the scrying plant to actually spot Wara. They knew he was stuck because there was a scrying orb on the other side of that bush.
No. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide. Speed it up a little bit, and we won't see the Ezreals take the Baron, but almost saw a hero play from one of the Corki squad. They still have a lot of wave clear, despite the Baron buff going over to TCL. Corki will be able to shred the resistances. This is so many screenshots.
It's just too hard
so
to
much.
keep up sometimes. You just have to let it unfold. Jesus.
I feel like the way that this game is going, when you have 10 marksmen, like, you need to be an FPS caster.
What was it? Hello? I ulted top.
Like, anyone with FPS casting experience would be perfect for this right now. Zeitnot, he's dropping low. He's out of there. Gunned down by the Corkies. Oh, Plugo. Luckily, he was behind the minion wave and a couple more Corkies.
And poor Bear has no health to his name. Even with an Abyssal Scepter, he's just losing all of his health under the pressure that Ezreals are able to provide. Crystal still wants to win the game, so he's going for objectives. As the rest of the Turkish team just want to kill the Corkies.
It's not a bad strategy, to be honest, in this game. LAS have had the Ocean Dragon, which would have to feel as a good pickup, at least in the wars of attrition, but it's getting to the point where everyone's doing so much damage. You're going to die pretty much instantly from full.
We're still waiting, though, Pulse. Level 16. Corki's ultimate actually does 1-to-1 scaling. So when he hits 16, it gets to the 1-to-1 scaling, whereas it scales up per level. So that's when he really turns on. The damage that he's doing now is still commendable. It doesn't seem to compare, however, to the Ezreals.
How much of like our win condition is getting to level 16 right now for Team Ice? Like, how dead are the Ezreals once you get there?
I mean, it's the only thing they've really got right now against the Baroned up Ezreals, and you want to kill the champions.
Oh! Bear's going in, Bear's going out.
Just kinda...
Let's give him the high five.
I mean, it's true to Bear form. We saw his Pantheon support earlier in the week.
But he only went in.
Yeah.
There was no going out. It's like, this is great. I actually have an ability to not die every time I want to jump.
2 dashes.
Yeah.
Now versatility. Also,
the bear is
spooky
evolving.
ghosts.
The bear is learning.
I wonder if he'll die from Naru's ult. No, it's going to go mid.
Bear.
That's
Is he the
boring.
squishiest member on the team? Well, he's actually, he's adapted. He's picked up the Abyssal Scepter. Who's the squishiest? Plugo, all right. Hopefully there's not another one.
I don't know if there is a squishiest member on the team. They all just take too much damage anyway.
Yeah.
Like, they've all got magic resistance. There's a bit of extra health on Kratos.
Oof. All right.
That skims his
bumper.
backside.
Yeah. Zeitnot's got his and Crystal, so they could look for a snipe opportunity. I want to see another assassination from the Ezreals, just like we saw early on to Bear. I feel like 5 Ezreal ultimates will just nuke any of these Corkies, regardless of the Moors.
It definitely will. No Void Staffs, unfortunately, though, just yet. Elwyn will go for this, you would imagine. He's a little bit scared.
Yeah. Not enough.
Whoa!
Over there, Zeitnot.
All right,
Takes
mate.
a bunch of damage. Wara, steady on. There's the ultimates. There's 1, there's 2. Crystal, Elwind, and Dumbledore's lining up for the shot.
Warren knows he made a mistake. I think it's safe to say both summoners gone.
Objectively, Plugo takes a bunch of damage in from the Mystic Shots. Bear chased down by Zeitnod. He doesn't want this right now. No man to escape, but the stray Ezreal ultimates flying absolutely everywhere. Dumbledore fires his. Where's it going? Down mid lane. And Wara, he's coming back. He's coming in for the initiate, but he's too low. He's out of there. Elwind finished off by Helior. Jump over the wall. He's got the blast plant. Crystal, he's trying to find a kill here, but Kratos has his own package. Tries to deliver the package. They weren't at home.
Those left at the post office. Yeah. Ezreals are in.
Ezreals are out there. Definitely doesn't want any more of this, but you can't dodge a homing missile. Finds the double. Oh, baby, Naru coming in. He wants that triple. Plugo 1v1 against Crystal. The flash. And the kill.
The flash was ultimately not necessary, however. He made it look pretty badass, so we'll give him those badass points. Naru and Crystal will be doing a lot of damage to these turrets, as you can see.
Good lord.
There was 2 minions to accompany them. You give Ezreals an inch and they'll take the entire game.
All right, well, Wara's coming up, so luckily they won't be able to finish this one up. But 33 minutes in, we have 56 kills. And yet another replay for you to feast your eyes on.
And I mean, there's not really a lot you can say about this. It's just skill shots absolutely everywhere. Also, sound effects-wise, they picked the worst possible skins for Ezreal and Corki.
I think you mean the best possible skins.
Well, yeah, it depends what you're after. Yeah. You're right, they are very good. Borangelis is an absolute monster. He always wants to go forwards. But Helior ultimately is the one that gets everything done. Also, a package on Kratos this whole time. And he waited till then to use it. Not exactly appropriately.
I'll let him off because it's not tool. Ah, yes, the package from Corki.
But yeah, Plugo comes in and does a lot of work on the back end of it.
Yeah.
That's not enough though. It's Crystal just looks stylish.
To be fair, it was 1v3, so he got 2.
Yeah, he definitely did.
All right, Naru, still the biggest Ezreal. Who is the biggest Corki? I'd say Wara.
It would be Wara, yeah. I just don't know if Kratos even had a chance to use his GLP 800. Yeah, the idea here really is that they should just poke. Both of them, and whoever pokes the best
Oh no,
wins.
He can't survive another one. Luckily there is no more. Ezreal wants to come out! The hidden Corki is apparently not the deadliest, as he was found by the onslaught of Ezreals.
Now they'll go back to base.
And the disgusting amounts of skill shots.
Right, how many packages are there?
All right, boys. Yeah, check this one for me,
There's a
Rusty.
couple there.
There's at least 2. I've been informed that Wara is indeed the biggest Corki with 28% of the team's damage.
Plugo, you have to go.
Quite big.
Rocket.
Plugo. No, not like that. Ah.
They should bait the fight though and use all of the packages they have.
Well, I don't know what's going on anymore, but many Corkis died
your package,
in that incident.
Bear.
The great slaughter, the great Corki slaughter of 2016. Wara over the wall. Bear going to use a defensive wall off there. But forever a support. Bear, the hero that Wara needed. And Elwind going to head back to base. Okay.
Whew. So, the second Baron buff is going to be seen once again from the TCL side. They should be able to utilize this buff with their side waves that they're currently pushing out. 10,000 gold in the lead. Not that it matters too much in the end, they're just hitting more skill shots. And that's the defining feature.
Yeah, it's pity we don't have a statistic on skill shots hit. And like ratio of hit skill shots. Because that would be a good one for this game.
Naru's about to try and one-hit Kratos. He didn't even know.
Kratos doing a U-turn. He's going back to base.
Oh! Okay. Extra. I hate Hexdrinker so much.
Yeah. Ruins the hype. Can't disable that one for the next Ezreal Corki matchup. There. He's good. Helior still trading away. Mystic shots coming in. Whoa. He's good.
They just can't deal with the Baron minions. There are a lot of packages.
Oh no, he was so close. No touchdown for him. And this may be it. There are a lot of Ezreals, but there is a lot of
This is
packages.
the fight.
Klaytos, he's going in. He's going to do a drive through. Plugo coming in. Klaytos trying to find that kill onto the backside. Dumbledore's finishing up Plugo, but the Hex Drinker keeps him alive for a little bit longer.
Wrong
Not
side
quite a
of the base,
lifesaver
Corkies.
there. Back to base. And now Naru, he's on cleanup duty. He's the janitor of the team. He'll find all these Corkies off to the side, and Wara left to try and clear the minions. Luckily, there is no Baron buff anymore.
Yeah.
So,
no,
actually, no, there is. It was just some people who died. So I saw Dumbledore, and I was like, they're good. Actually, not good. They're in quite a bad situation, to be honest.
Trust that man to have been dead the second he got the Baron.
It's going in onto Wara.
Speaking of dead.
Ooh, Naru, nice flash.
Or was it?
That was the big one. Yeah, he's still alive, but Naru can't dodge this one. But they're onto the Nexus. Elwind and Dumbledore's tag teaming down the Corkies on the fountain. Elwind could fall to bear. No, he's good. We've got the rest of the Ezreals. They're just styling on the Corkies right now. Here come the true shot barrages. Can we kill any of the Corkies on the spawn pad? That's the dream right here. But the minions are going to finish off the game. Down goes Plugo. Rip his KDA. And that's the Nexus falling. Ezreal's reign supreme. Turkey take it home.
Redemption for the Ezreals, I suppose, for the Oceanic team. But also just a really impressive performance from the Turkish side themselves. Mechanics on point. And in a battle of who could hit the most skill shots, it appears that one region has come out on top. Mostly because I believe they were just Ezreals, and honestly, when you're comparing, I think it's the better of the champions.
Can confirm. Man, what a face-off. Skill shots left and right. And in the end, Dodgeball champions here at All-Star were indeed TCL. That was a fun one. That was great. That's what happens when you have a Zac against you. Fun times ensue.
Exactly. The less Zac, the better, I think it is safe to say. It was a little bit disheartening watching Zac's win a game on One for All. This time around, though, we have pure man mode. Lots of fighting each other, lots of skill shots thrown out left, right, and center. Not just wacky waving inflatable men flailing everywhere with water arms.
And if you win as Ezreal, you get to say that you're actually skilled, because it's all about those skill shots. If you want to kill someone, you're going to have to hit someone, regardless of how many people are in the lane, and if you miss, you'll probably hit someone anyway. But with that fact out of there, you did actually skillfully win the game.
Absolutely right. Champions that have skill shots. Logic applies. I'm with you there, Pulse. It's pretty sound. It also means you lose the game more severely if you lose with skill shot champions. You know, sometimes it's worth the win with a no-skill champion like a Zac.
But with that, Turkey have secured first seed in their team, so they have that going for them. And OC is still alive, so I think everyone's a winner.
I mean,
apart from the team that lost.
Not yet for Oceania. Still a winner in potentially there.
They're not dead. That's the main thing.
Yeah, that's the
the
important
real
part.
win. Yeah, right here. Any champions you particularly want to see in All for One?
I want to see Lissandra, personally. I think the ability to, play all lanes, go to the jungle as well, in and out constantly, and just crowd control everywhere. It's kind of a really good way to actually play the game, but I also think that Zac should not exist, so if that champion is available, you have to actually take it. Like, you have to.
Yeah.
It's just so strong.
It's kind of the Nasus thing, but either way, for more on that win, Hingers is standing by with Turkey's player. We're heading over to Yanis, by the way. Take it away.
Nice juke, Pulse. Respect coming in. All right, Corki versus Ezreal. The meta evolves. Nithya, your Corki or your Ezreal pick now 1-1 in the day overall. So why don't we talk a little bit about Corki versus Ezreal, at least on a theory crafting level. When is Corki stronger? When is Ezreal stronger? What exactly happened here?
So Ezreal is stronger on the first 6 levels before the first base. As soon as everyone gets a first base, unless Ezreal just buys Sheen on the first base, which is not really like that good for him because he can't get the mana immune. Corki is going to win, especially once he gets the first package, second package. There's going to be like Corki is going to be doing like twice the damage of Ezreal. But after level 11, Corki is going to scale worse and worse and worse, and Ezreal is going to just get better and better and better. And just Latin America didn't really use that advantage that they had in the mid game to just win.
Yeah, and of course there were a few small moments in the game where we did see some pretty excellent use of the Ezreal ultis to get off some picks, maybe help boost that goal lead, even with what should have been a deficit here.
Couldn't even flash forward because he would get hit by another one of them.
So what you're saying is it was all calculated, Mithi. They'd set up a trap of Ezreal ultimates to prevent them being able to escape.
But the worst thing is you don't remember which one is the AP Ezreal, and so it becomes a scenario of like, which one do I actually want to take?
Yeah, picking all the skins is a legitimate strategy because now you can never tell which one you actually need to flash.
Later in the game, when everyone was level 16 and they were shooting ults, there was a support which did like no damage, but you had to flash out every ult because each of them could just have like lottery ticket of the 1k damage, you know?
A little game of kind of Ezreal Russian roulette. Of course, going into the mid game though, it did look okay for the Corkies. There was one fight coming into the bottom lane where it felt pretty good overall. It started really strong, started with a couple of Ezreal ults, but as we take a look at it now, you can see that it doesn't quite turn out as Ezreal planned.
I kind of wanted to see more uses of the package, but what was great about this fight was how difficult it is to actually chase an Ezreal because all of their skill shots are so linear and they do a surprising amount of damage. And as we were just talking about, you really don't know which Ezreal ultimate is going to pack the biggest punch. So if you're just running in a line chasing after all these Ezreals, then you're going to just make it so easy for them to get the turnaround and get all this free damage down.
I think if they really wanted to get that win, which was really important for them, I think they should have really played more with vision, even though it's a one for all and everything. Ezreal has more range than Corki, and if you're just going to get kited out, so you want to just make them face check you when you have your stronger spike and make them come to you, and then you can beta fight and win it. Because if you just, like, if they just go and fight them and try and chase them, they're just going to kite them out and they will never win a fight.
Yeah, and instead of kind of pulling back, they stepped on the gas. They went for some really big, aggressive moves here, trying to take an early Baron as a pack of Corkies. Not quite effective.
Ultimately, this was kind of what sealed the deal for me for this game. Again, it's one for all. You don't have a tank, and so these Barons, especially when you try to take them as early as this one, are just going to rip through you, and it's going to be very easy cleanup duty, even if you don't have all 5 members present. So this, I mean, we've theory crafted back and forth, you know, Ezreal versus Corki, but ultimately it was that decision-making that I think just really put the nail in the coffin.
I mean, like, they could have redeemed themselves if they'd used all 5 packages as well as their W just spelled GG. And if they'd done that, then they would have earned at least a couple style points, but they decided not to go for it, which I thought was a massive disappointment.
How could they do that, though?
You can't turn.
No, because you have this regular W. The regular W.
I appreciate this is the one for all analysts, but even this is a little too deep for me. So keep in mind, Turkey, of course, with that win, has now secured themselves first seed in tomorrow's playoff bracket, and they're going to get matched up against the 3rd seed of Team Fire. We'll go through that later in the day, but for now, Turkey defining themselves at the top, of course. Even if Japan finds a win in their next match, Turkey owns the tiebreaker for 1v1 wins. Now Brazil, CB Law at 3-1 as well, and Southeast Asia holding on to hope at 2-1 on the bottom.
Big thing, though, is hope is still alive for Oceania. They needed Turkey to win there, so we're still on the boat.
Yeah, I mean, Oceania 0-3 because Latin America South ended up losing that game. They're 1-3, so all Latin South America need and Oceania need is for CIS to lose, and then Oceania for themselves, they need to win.
It comes down to 2 simple things. Team Fire has to win every match. Oceania has to win 1v1.
Yes. But they need to win 1v1 convincingly.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're holding on to hope here for Oceania. Maybe if you're a fan of the CIS, you're holding on to hope that they can pull out a win and secure themselves first seed in Team Ice. But we're going to take a quick break. But before we go, we take a look at a region that comes all the way to us from East Asia. They're showing up big here at this tournament. It's Japan's LJL.
かなり一つチームとして戦っても面白いチームになるんじゃないぐらいかな。非常にバランスの取れたチームになっていると思いますね。
リー選手は 1v1 がめちゃめちゃ強い。レーニングで必ず勝ちにいけるプレイヤー。味方が眼光しに行くよっていう合図を出した時にベイトするっていう、エビで釣るっていう。
ので溜まっているミニオンを有効活用できるでしょう。そのままエビが仕掛ける、食べて吐き出して、さらにはピラーなんとかダブルでそこを通過したいが通過できない。
タッスル選手が今日本語をかなり勉強していてコミュニケーションもかなり取りやすい。
ガンクも積極的にしますし、敵のジャングルにもガンガン入っていきますし。
アグレッシブ一言で言うと。
チームとしてミッドレーナーが一番重要というのもありますし、スタイルの幅があるので、その幅をどう生かすかというところがチームにとって大きな鍵になるのかなという感じがしますね。
非常にレーンを安定させる思考にあるプレイヤーかなという印 象がありますね。
ここにイオンブロストのカードが突き刺さる1キル取ったのはなんとアンソロとサッゲーミング、そのまま裏に回って D3 ダブルキルはハレッジだ。さらに3キルにつなげて
しっかりとファームして、そして集団戦でダメージロスというところにかなり意識を割いているプレイヤーでもあると思いますね。彼はチャンピオンプレイは非常に広いというのも特徴かなと思いますね。
異名なんですけど、どこでもダラっていうのがリーグオブレジェンドのマップのどこにでもダラがいる。
一応おっといや3人決まったダラのウルトからランページパンが落ちた。どこでもダラで終わるのか。
やっぱり世界に挑戦するときに武器が必要なんですよね。絶対に折れない武器っていうのがで、それを結構曖昧にしちゃうケースっていうのが日本人の特徴なんですよね。
ワイルドカード地域でトップクラスのタレントが揃っているというのが日本のチームの特徴だと思います。エビ選手は韓国サーバーでチャレンジャーティアになってますし、ダー選手もタッセル選手も韓国サーバーでソロ級練習してます。あとはセロス選手は何度も国際大会に出てますから、そういったところの個人の技術の高さであったり、ゲームへの理解度だったりといったところは非常に高いものを持っているというのを世界にアピールしたいですね。
Welcome back, everyone, from our studios in beautiful Barcelona. As you can see on your screens, absolutely fantastic to be here. But we're gearing up for our next one-for-all battle, pitting the Commonwealth of Independent States against the All-Stars from Japan.
It is interesting how important this match actually is for both of these teams. As we were talking about in the break, everybody wants the CIS team to lose except CIS, who really need this win.
Yeah, it's actually really good for Japan because they actually need this one as they have the lower win times versus Brazil in the 1v1. So they need this for seeding. OCE, if CIS win, will also be knocked out. So they also want Japan to win. So it's only a really good thing. CIS are just looking to break everyone's hearts.
Exactly. It can put a potential three-way tie-in if they lose this one, CIS. So Japan, obviously, they really want to win. CIS also really want to win. There's a chance that this particular one for all is incredibly more serious, perhaps, than that of the last.
But what does that mean? Will everyone just decide that they want to go Zac now and just be like, oh, it's going to be a Kindred Zac game and we're just going to go super try hard and see what we can do to not die?
It's really hard to say. So there's this mind game in play where Ezreal seems to be unbeatable unless it's against the tank, in which case it doesn't really do enough. Zac seems unbeatable against carries, so perhaps they both go Zac or they both end up with Ezreal in some kind of mind game that actually happens. We'll see.
There's some rock, paper, scissors thing going on here, but we need to in this one. Either way, let's review those starting lineups for these two teams. First off, it's going to be Team Ice and the CIS All-Stars. Top lane, it will be Smurf, Albus, Nox, Luna. In the jungle, Zanzara from Vega Squadron. In the mid lane, Kira. We all know him from Albus, Nox, Luna. The ADC will be Lex from Gambit Gaming. And their support, Edward from Vega Squadron.
Yeah, Kira, the 1v1 god, didn't actually make it work, but representing Team Fire, it is going to be the LJL Japan region. Top lane is going to be Evie from 7th Heaven. Jungle Tussle from Rampage. Mid, Seros from Detonation Focus Me. AD carry Hereti from Unsold Stuff Gaming, great name. And support Dara from Rampage.
And this is a 1v1 versus the guy I was really repping the last tournament. He was Kira. He did so well in the 1v1 tournament. Carried his team to All-Stars on his back by himself. Disappointed me when I hyped him up so much yesterday. However, Seros, I'm all the way behind him. So he needs to prove his mettle, prove his worth against Kira, and he will take that mantle over. And I'll be fully behind Seros for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, and it's not just Seros and Kira anymore. It's the entire team getting behind them, potentially playing champions that they may not excel in. This is one of the things I actually spoke about with the Oceanic team. Picking champions like Cassiopeia, which is available and very strong, is really difficult to do because you have to be good at the Cassiopeia and only one role plays it. And that could be where the problems start to begin, genuinely start.
You can't just pick up Cass and be like, I'm just gonna, it's fine, I can just do this strategy. You know, you have to hit skill shots, you have to play it in a way that is actually effective. So despite the champion being good, may not see it. So remember, no bans. We can do whatever we want. And where do the teams want to go? Have they got a strategy? Or are they actually going to all just go something random?
Yeah, the interesting thing here is it's lottery pick, and so you can all commit to something, or you could all pick for different things and just kind of see what happens, but we've seen what the CIS team wants to be.
Okay, is this a preempt of an Ezreal pickup?
Yeah, I actually had this conversation. Funnily enough, with the Oceanic team again, they played against the CIS region, which is how they have all this information, wealth of knowledge there. The Yasuo was okay into Ezreal, but the second the wind wall's down, you can all just go forwards.
Yeah.
You just need to keep count effectively of those wind walls. However, the Japanese side have directly countered a Yasuo.
Wow, all right, Jarvan coming in for the Japanese lineup.
Where is your wind wall now, CIS? Where is it?
How useful is it now? Because Dragon Strike will go through the wind wall, because it's not a projectile.
That has to be one of the scariest things that you'd ever see. The second it's locked in, and you know your opponent's champion, to be the Yasuo and to see the Jarvan.
Right now, Edward turning behind him. Can we remake? Is that a possibility? Lag.
It's got to be lag.
Did not want the Yasuo. So now Yasuo, the Yasuo squad, playing without one of their spells. You actually just wouldn't put a point in it now, right? Because it doesn't affect your passive anymore. So
I mean, like, the only time that I would consider putting a point into it is actually for minions, perhaps for early laning if you're a solo laner or something like that. Jungle has the utility, I suppose, with it there, where you can use it to
objectives.
Yeah, exactly. Taking dragons, taking barons. So you get 1 point. I'd say level 8 win wall.
maybe.
It's going to be the Anivia thing where you really just want to put your points into Q and E, but generally you max out E anyway because you get like 20 damage from a level up in Q anyway. So
yeah, you can actually max both as well with the Yasuos. Jarvan, interestingly enough, the flag is an AoE, right? So perhaps there's one Jarvan, like the support Jarvan, that maxes the E. I don't know if it changes the amount. Could be the cooldown. So either way,
increases
it's
damage.
useful.
So maybe he goes AP. There's a cheesy AP Jarvan build that you can go. But of course, the ultimate is AoE now, so that's something to keep in mind as well. So the Astros do not want to group up. But either way, guys, jump on Twitter, vote at LOL Esports using the hashtags CISWin and JPNWin. Lock in your votes for who you think is going to reign supreme in this one-for-all matchup. Yasuo versus Jarvan. My money's on the Jarvans.
I find it hard to not go for the Jarvans when you look at the champion matchup, but Yasuo, always a skill matchup. Every single Yasuo matchup becomes skill. If he can outplay you in some way, dodge the flag and drag, get out of the ultimate by using the dash at the right time, there's chances for it. You can also go the Frozen Mallet Phantom Dancer build so that you can reduce damage done and be sticky. It's just so hard to do against the Jarvan.
I'm just scared. If I was up against a lineup of Jarvans, I don't want to get hit by the quick Venn diagram. Everyone dog piles on you with a Cataclysm.
Yeah, Jarvan 1 ults, you dash out of it, and Jarvan 2 ults. Yeah. And you're just stuck again anyway.
Exactly. If anyone groups up, any two Yasuos are next to each other, then the Jarvans are going to come in, and both of them are going to get completely obliterated. So, need to be careful of that. Meanwhile, on the other side, any knockup lands onto the AoE. So, name of the game, don't group up, because you're going to be hit by some pretty big ultimates from both teams.
Absolutely. Very dangerous prospect. Yasuo jungle, also actually quite good. Another thing that I stupidly play because it just isn't meta. You can... having the shield very handy, especially when you get to different camps, is... Look, that was a pretty good start.
I still like this from Zanzaro. He's the only one going Courage of the Colossus, so he's the designated tank of this team. Meanwhile, triple tanks coming in from Fire. That's actually interesting. It's just like, okay. We're going to just get to the point where the Astros just can't kill us. It's not as manly as I would have liked. I want everyone to go full AD.
Also, special credit has to be given to Edward and Lex committing to the double Relic shield. One of the only ways that a bottom lane 2v2 will start to shine, whereas the opposition side of the LJL hasn't gone for it. Personally, I'm sad, because it means you're not farm sharing. One of them will get far less gold.
Yeah, double Relic is just good for early laning. With the extra regeneration as well, pretty much just in every aspect. So
every Mordekaiser player knows this, and Atlas.
And Atlas.
He knows this.
So if you're at home and you want to play a double melee lane, then just go for the Relic Shield. It's good.
Yeah, DM Atlas for tips.
He's got you. Saras is being pushed in. That's a big wave.
It's too big. He needs to show some respects.
Yeah, Kira's just jumping him in. Should be able to pick up most of these minions, though. They're not too heavily damaged. The back wave in pretty much perfect place. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't actually hit the low health minions a little earlier.
Yeah, I think he was preparing them with the cannon to Q it. So either way, he will get them. So a nice start for the Yasuos. This isn't really where the problems are, however, for them. It's the level 6 point. The items that come through, all of the raw AD that can come out of these Jarvans will absolutely ruin their lives.
The problem is Yasuo has to hit a skill shot or just dash in, but they're jumping onto Dara first off. Lex exhausted Heretti standing in front of Dara. And we'll get tagged up by the tornado just at the very end. Saras jumping onto Kira in the 1v1. Low on mana though. Kira not a mana user, so it's not in the most horrible of situations.
Really well timed though.
Was trying to come in there, ward over the wall. We'll see the enemy jungler.
Jarvan really is a dirty tactic.
Yeah, it's great. That's what I would do, for sure.
Also, Smurf definitely has, like, all attack speed runes. I feel like he's got a 27% attack speed page or something. Look at how quick this man Qs.
He's the ADC.
And he's played a lot of Yasuo.
He has. Let's see how it works out for him. And if he actually does go for an ADC build, because that could be quite interesting. Targans now for the bot lane, so actually going all in on this one.
Yeah.
Because
not against it.
No, I'm not against it either. Typically, when you go for the double Relic Shield start, you just keep at the Relic Shield, and then you go for the rest of your items. Okay, one step further. Double face of the mountain doesn't seem like a bad thing to me, though.
Not at all, and even just leaving it at that, like one of them can get the Sightstone upgrade perhaps, and eventually you can sell. Kira. There you go.
Can Jarvans jump to other Jarvan flags?
I think so. I don't know if the coding is different on Summoner's Rift to the one for all Snowdown map, but you definitely should be able to. Who knows?
Because
Let's just find out.
There was a change a while ago where you can have 2 flags down as a single Jarvan, and you can jump to both of those. So I'm gonna say you can, but we will find out in this game for sure.
If we don't, there's some serious problems.
Yeah. And it's really just waiting at this point for the game to get rolling, and we're just waiting for those level 6s really from both teams. Yasuo is really not suffering because laning phase is fine. But it's at that level 6 mark where we'll see the sparks fly.
Yeah, it's around the level, I'd say 7, because 6 is the most important part, having the extra part of your burst, but also by the time you recall, get all the long swords, and things start to really open up for your Jarvan-based team. They will yell Demacia a lot after that point. Like a lot.
Hang on, what are we doing on skins this game? Did all the Jarvans go vanilla?
They're all base, I think, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're absolutely all
Is
base.
it all product as well? No, I definitely saw a High Noon Yasuo. Yeah, it's in top lane.
Yeah, Smurf.
So I don't know what the strategy is there necessarily. I mean, the synergy bot lane because you had the 2 project skins.
Could be different animation colors and stuff, you know?
Okay.
Now, Blood Moon's arguably the best one for throwing out your tornadoes.
But I think in general, don't you all want to be the same skin so you can mask which Yasuo is doing what? Because that was the thing with Ezreal, right? Like, you don't know which Arcane or which True Shot Barrage is going to hit you harder. So
that's true, but they're also global ultimates from the Ezreal. I guess in comparison, the Yasuo has to be like within range anyway.
Right. That makes sense.
And you can put names on, so you'll know it's Edward throwing it, and he's the support, so it should do less.
But in a team fight, are you really able to just read their name? It's just like, ah yes, Edward here hit me harder than Lex. It's just like, no, there's like 17 tornadoes flying towards you. Someone's ulting, and it's just like, I don't want it. Ah!
I can't speak for everybody, but I think I can watch names. I'm trying to remember if I do.
Yeah.
Let's just go with yes. But it's not a standard thing, I suppose.
I just don't think I'd be able to trust myself when so much is going on. Xandra, he's back on a second clear now. He's doing quite well for himself, yeah. Yasuo jungle, not too shabby, and of course Jarvan can jungle himself. Not a top-tier jungler anymore, had armor shaved off his Demacian standard, kind of gutted him, took AD off him as well, so also hurt him.
Oh, there he is.
Here's
just
Yul.
poking.
He's still following after. Xandra was looking for the gank, but he's good to go for now.
Zanzara also going for his armor boots as the immediate item purchase. Not a bad decision against all of these Jarvans, as he's now looking for Tussle. And is definitely in kill range of Tussle.
Double buff on Zanzara. Tussle, nice flash timing. He was waiting on that tornado. Heretti coming down with his fellow Demacians. Here comes the ultimate. Demacia, Lex hits the floor. There is no escaping from this Japanese jungle.
The amount of Demacia that just dropped down actually blocks half of the Jarvans off, but still does enough damage, so they do get the kills, and this is the start. Potentially the beginning of the end for the Yasuos.
We are heading down the darkest timeline here, Rusty. Edward, he's under tower, but there's not many ultimates available. Tussle, he did use his in the last engagement. I believe they went to the same flag, but here's the combo, the flag and the drag. And the kill. Heretti. Mid lane, Saras locking Kira, but he's not quite under tower.
Good exhaust.
Now being followed after. Whoa, Kira. He's got the charge Q. Nice sidestep. Jumps into Saras. Takes one more tower shot. Maybe another one after this.
He's
that was a little closer.
He is quite alright.
Heading in there. There's the wind walls. Evie from the sideline slaps him with his spear. Now coming down, Dara. Here's last job remaining. Here's the ultimate in from Lex, trying to find Tussle. There's another one. Heretti is so dead. Under the wrap of the samurais, finishing him off.
And I guess the biggest difference here is if they don't all have the Jarvan ultimates available, they don't actually have the same amount of kill threat onto Yasuos, who have consistent damage to output and mobility to put in place, such as this. As Smurf made a slight error, but he's still going.
He's just
hanging out.
That's the extent of his combo for now. There were no more Yasuos, insufficient Yasuos to finish off Dara. But there was a decent amount of damage on that bot lane tower, so LCL will take that to the bank. And the CIS region need this game. If they lose it, they are out. So very important for them. So many teams riding on both of them. But Edwards,
ooh. There was 2 flags, so we can't confirm or deny how it works just yet. 3 total
on the same spot.
As they worked in unison. Pretty much simultaneous flag and drag, so they're saying go at the same time at least. And this is the thing, that flash on Zanzara's works. The wind wall not necessary, but he has it, so you may as well use it.
Yep.
Same thing applies there. And Lex, it's the armor boots. It's like at this stage in the game, they are tanky enough. They dodge most of the spells from a Jarvan, but they can actually clean this stuff up because there is no ultimates. No one's gonna die.
Just realized that if you hit like 2 or 3 Jarvans, you can keep them suspended if you have multiple Yasuos around for like 10 seconds.
Yeah. You follow the ult with another ult.
They will never hit the ground. I want to see that happen. Kira, mid lane, still farming away. We typically don't look at the CS too much, but he does have that slight advantage against Seros. In top lane, Evie is bringing it down upon Smurf. So he's looking for this gank on top lane. He does have Cataclysm. Kira's going to jump in. There's the ultimate. It won't be the kill, but he'll get a nice bit of harassment damage down. And the return damage from Thunderlords from Dragon Strike will even up the damage. Toto's coming in. He does have his ultimate. There's the knock-up as well, landing. Cataclysm 1, Cataclysm 2, flashed away from. That is what you can do against Jarvan, however.
That is definitely the one thing that they do have going for them, is that you can flash and avoid the damage. That would have definitely killed Kira. Didn't have his exhaust, but now both summoners are down, and Fire decide not to push that middle lane, so they give Kira an opportunity to stay. And Tussle ganking is not going to be as effective without his ultimate to gap close. However, if Dara and Hereti are both there with theirs, does it matter?
Good timing for the ward there from Edward. We'll see the control ward plop down.
This is the lane I wouldn't dive, just for reference.
Significantly more tanky.
Yeah, it is a Balmy Cinder on Edward. And armor boots on Lex.
Yeah, don't want to dive that one. However, if you have, I would say critical mass of Jarvans are around like 4 for the ultimates of just like one-shotting someone. I think
Once
you can dive.
Blades and stuff like that, if they choose that build, it'd be even 3, perhaps. Oh, they stopped him.
That was good.
How exciting.
The extent of Jarvan Yasuo interactions.
It is a knock-up both. Like, last game was skill shots. It was Ezreal Corki trying to hit their stuff. This game's all about who can knock the other team up.
This is the Bouncy Castle 1v1.
And Evie. There's 4 of them. This is the critical mass you were talking about.
Here we go, Evie. He's jumping in. In comes Tussle, doesn't get the knock-up, but they are doing quite a lot of damage regardless of that. Here come the Cataclysms. There's the second one, there's the third, the fourth. Lex finds a double knock-up, but he's in the middle of too many Jarvans. Seros following after Zanzara, who was attempting to save his team, but he does have the backup of Yasuo number 2. Seros, where's he going? Well, probably a trip back to base. It's more than some capacity, but there's more. Ultimates coming in from the Cataclysm. The Venn diagram comes up. And Yasuo, something's happening here, but I believe the Jarvans have won. Zanzara following Evie to his demise. And Smurf's up top lane. He's taken tower.
He has teleported Flash. Smurf could have joined them.
Oh, now he's coming. Oh, he's looking for the highlight reel play. Here he's going. Yeah, Tussle's dead. All right, he needs to find the second one.
The turret didn't fall.
Oh no, Evie's getting away, but he's flashing. He wants this. Oh, no. He wants the double. He wants to pad the scoreline, so he looks like the best Yasuo on the team. Edward steals it. Good man.
So that happened. A lot of fighting happened. We get to watch it all again. We'll do our absolute best to decipher this, and it all starts with Hereti tanking the turret because the minions hadn't reset. Lex plays this reasonably well. He stays out of range and tries to stack up his Q, but ends up going the other way. So Edward flashes well and dies. And then Lex does the best he can to hold on. Seros finds Zanzara, who tries to windwall a combo that doesn't work like that. And then Seros realizes he's far too deep because Zanzara is the one with the red buff. So he suicides.
However.
But he doesn't, because there's a lot of stuff that happens very quickly. It is hard to keep track, but both Yasuos did ult off the knock-up, so Zanzara does well to get out. Played well. Zanzara actually showing he's a decent Yasuo player. Can't beat auto attacks though.
Shoutouts to the observers for slowing down to 0.25 speed there to help us actually lock down what was happening.
Basically, they pressed all of their buttons extremely quickly and stuff happened.
So are you telling me, Rusty, if you were shoved in that situation as a player, you'd be able to recognize everything that was happening there?
That? Okay. If I played thousands of one-for-all games, maybe.
All right.
This is an entirely different ballpark where we're looking at right now.
Can confirm. Do we have any variation in builds here? I know there is some on the LCL side. We have the Sunfire Cape, of course, from Edward. He is the tank.
Yeah, they'll all still go to crit, but they prioritizing armor boots.
Xandra has gone Courage of the Colossus, remember? So he is also a tank. Oh no. Good luck, Smurf. This will have to be very much a hero play. Slammed against the floor. Xandra coming in, hits some knock-up. Saras also joining the mosh pit. In comes Heretti. There's flags everywhere. There's spears, there's dragon strikes, there's Edward not wanting any of this. 3-for-1 trade.
What is happening?
This is fantastic.
They all simultaneously flag and drag. There was 3 of them that hit 3 angles. Like, there's no escaping the knock-up. It's dirty. Edward!
The Yasuo's trying to run the equation. Is there any angle I can take that I'm not going to get hit by a flag and drag? The answer is no.
So many flags and drags.
It's so much of a mess, I can't see if you can jump to another Jarvan's flag. Hasn't really become a situation where
it's really not clear, is it, at the end of this?
But I would just love for like one Jarvan to toss down their flag and everyone to jump to it, to jump to an objective.
I feel like if they all dash through it, it'll reset from being angry. We'll see. Jarvans, I think they know.
Yeah.
And it's... they don't...
They have the plant there to reveal, but they didn't go for it.
It doesn't matter too much in the end.
No. I have a great band name, Samurai Party.
Would it? What kind of Samurai Party?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, speaking of, this is definitely a party. I don't think there's many samurais because they're all dying. You can ult, by the way, as Jarvan through Yasuo's ult, so you can stop the knockup, I should say. There's a good preventative measure, perhaps, when you come to team fights, as if nothing is...
Oh no, Kira. Oh, he's ignited. He has to go in with the ultimate. And Fire will plop back down. And be quite happy that they picked up a kill onto Kira. Not quite the Shinigami he was last tournament.
Good awareness, though, from Kira to see the ignite in time to ult.
Yeah.
Won't save him.
Hello,
that was
friend.
the dash. Don't dash through the Jarvan or he ults. That's rule number 1.
How's it going, Smurf? Not too well. Does get the knockup.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Well, he's a tank top Jarvan.
Is he? Is he one of... No, he's not a tank.
Evie.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Smurf. Yeah, Evie is the tank top. He's gone for the Ravenous Hydra, though, so converting that into damage now.
Yeah, Dead Man's Plate, I think, will be where he goes next. This is interesting. Yeah. Heretti is committed to being an AD Jarvan. Seros has decided that he's going to complement his team with the Black Cleaver. I like that they haven't gone for a lot of them. And also, conveniently enough, Dara has received most of the golden kills, so the support still has items. Oh, whoa, whoa.
It's happening.
Whoa.
It's not happening.
Calm down.
Yeah, just chill out. Had the Courage of the Colossus, but no Yasuo's to engage in the battle. Edward has been revealed here. In terms of lethality and how the items have changed, not seeing any of these Jarvans or even the Yasuo's go for like the Ghost Blade and the Dusk Blades anymore.
I feel like there's a chance here that the Yasuo's win this simply because of the item choices of the Jarvans. They're matching tankiness with tankiness. And I think a Yasuo's sustained damage actually starts to outmatch in the end. Then again, Jarvan hits Q. Everyone dies.
That's true. The shred is nice into all of the ultimates, all the cataclysms. And it is AoE as well, which they also have that going for them.
So I guess it's just who AoE is better. In the end, I think the Jarvan should have just went full AD except for maybe 2 of them. That could have been tanks such as Evie and Dara.
Top lane. 1v1 of the century. Evie, nice interrupt from Smurf onto Evie's flag and drag. Not sure if that's going to help though. Tussle, he interrupts the 1v1. That was a battle of honor.
There was also 5 guys coming up through the river, so they now go back mid. The army of Jarvans yelling Demacia at everyone they see.
Watching just Jarvans run together just looked absurd. Edward knocked on the wall. in the air. This is just a complete Venn diagram bouncing. I don't know what's going on anymore. Zanzera, nice knocker. Oh, he's thinking about going back in, but the Flag and Drag will knock him up as well. 5 for 1. That was an ace.
And you know what we got from this pulse? They all went to one flag.
They did.
We finally worked it out. It was
figured
safe.
it out.
Nothing else matters there. LJL obviously winning the fight quite convincingly. Maybe in time to get something done, such as another objective. Looking quite good. That was a cluster of just nonsense.
There are no real words to describe that one. Unfortunately, Jarvans don't push very fast. So I don't think they took any objectives.
You can see what their strategy is, though, as well. If they all get a Randuin's Omen, the crit-based champions will do less and less. Of course, we do get to see this one again. Okay. Edward kicks it off by wanting to be aggressive. There's a 3-on-3, so he's effectively distracting them. So Yasuo's go in. They all go in one after the other, and they're actually all just standing on top of each other as a result of this, where the Jarvans say, come at me, I am still a Jarvan. And Evie is actually a pretty big deal. We will see the Flag and Drag here at the end on Zanzara. 1 flag, 3 drags.
Good to know.
Confirmed.
That was like the best way to finish off the final kill as well.
It does feel satisfying, like as a Jarvan player and even as a viewer of a Jarvan, to watch them hit the knock-up aspect of it.
Up you go. And of course you can flag, drag, and then flash if you get the timing right.
That's hard.
For the knock-up. It is hard.
Same thing with Yasuo Tornado as well.
Going to do the air blade, but we're going to have another Fiesta in the jungle. Dara chasing down Edward. The flash over the wall will be the disengage, and the flags are all that remain of that battle.
Except that they don't. All right, here we go.
The first flag and drag. Seros is the initiator, despite being the damage dealer. Dara jumping in. He finds knockup onto Kira. How many Cataclysms do we have available? We're about to find out. That's a big knockup onto Free, but that's cancelled. Cataclysms go in. And Seros finds the kill onto Smurf. This is a complete disaster for the Samurai lineup. Edward is trying to juke, he's trying to dodge, he's zipping, he's zagging, but Dara will be there to follow after. And the rest of the Johns will find their quarry. 5-0, the ace for Japan.
Another big fight for the Japanese side, the Jarvans. And this is going to continue to happen. I think we've worked out what beats the Yasuos, and that is them all ulting the same target. They can't do that. They have to spread it out. They can't stand next to each other at any moment or they die. And because every time we've seen them fight now, the Jarvans are all getting knocked around, but they're all tanky Jarvans with their soon-to-be Randuins anyway. The second the knockups end, they all just die.
When everyone pushes their buttons, the Jarvan will always come out on top because they have the combo breaker with their ultimates, but we can see that again.
And this is what
looks good.
Yeah, and like Smurf hits a nice knockup. It's followed up by the rest of the team and interrupts the flag and drags. But watch all of this. All of the ultimates are suspended in air for so long, and they all just say, nah. Like, nah, bro. Just get out.
All 3 of the Jarvans ulted at the same time to get out.
They're all just like mashing their R key. And of course it interrupts knockup, so there's no further ultimates available or interrupts available. Jarvans will get their ults off. And all of the slows, all of the flag and drags. Poor Edward. There was nothing left.
No.
His team was dead.
He got to see all his brothers in arms.
Really is Cataclysm, aptly named.
Very much is. Very much the case when you have 5 of them coming down on you. Zanzara. Oh no. Oh. Oof.
Dara for a support. Legendary.
Yeah, he's having a good game.
Yeah, 20 out of the 23 kills as well he's been involved in.
Maybe he should move to top lane. Lex. Okay, saving the dash, but I'm not sure that's going to save him. Evie knocked up in the air, hits the chain. But unfortunately, the Yasuos just don't have enough damage now. Cataclysms have entered the arena, ladies and gentlemen.
Bring your walls down. There we go. All right. Kira.
Oh.
And Dara gets it as well. You can actually hear the LJL team behind us yelling their hearts out. Really enjoying this Jarvan game in One for All. But it feels like they've got the CIS team matched.
More than matched, honestly, in this game. And this is... everyone's hopes are riding on Japan bringing this win home. Zanzara trying his best, but CIS, they need this win. If they don't, they are out. Which is not what I was expecting from this lineup.
Tussle so happy. All right, we get to watch it again. Again, just do your best to decipher, everyone at home, what the heck you're watching. Of course, you can see this part. This all makes sense. And then HredN comes in, and then people start ulting off the back of Lex's Q. So one by one, the Yasuos go in. And after the ults are all said and done, Jarvan's. Then it's like, all right, I guess it's our turn. And about 6 flags and 7 drags, and a whole lot of cataclysms are there. It's like they need rock climbing shoes almost to get across all of the Jarvan ultimates. And Kira just dies. I mean, he's 2-7. He's not having a great game. As a mid laner playing Yasuo, you expect better things. Unfortunate, but I mean, I can't expect things against a Jarvan.
No, honestly. And it's actually the support, as you correctly mentioned. Dara, who is the best Jarvan currently on the lineup, has not even died. He's just had a perfect game. Who's the best Yasuo? Probably Zanzara, I guess.
You'd have to say Zanzara. Smurf looks fine, he's just not grouping up as much.
Yeah.
Edward looked okay. I don't know if there's a outright best. I'd say maybe Zanzara.
Yeah. There's a big discrepancy now in terms of gold, and you can clearly see the Jarvans are winning by virtue of being Jarvan. And it really was, going back to Champion Select,
Where are the frozen
inability
mallets
to
too?
remake.
That's where they went wrong. Phantom Dancers, frozen mallets. Don't go static shiv.
Or pick a Jarvan to duel.
Yeah.
And when you can.
Seriously, but Phantom Dancers. Reduce the damage of the Jarvans. They're building tanky. Like,
it's beginning. The beginning of the Cataclysm.
Armageddon. Is approaching.
That is the collective term. Yeah. Edward knocked up. He's knocked up again. Maybe knocked up a third time, but this is the Armageddon of Cataclysms. But it's returned by the Yasuo ultimates. Everyone's getting involved. But after all of that, it's the Jarvans who come out on top. 5-0, ace for Japan.
Every single Jarvan's alive. Oh no. Those poor Yasuos. There was nothing left for them. That was disgusting.
Bonk, bonk, bonk. Team Fire, LJL finish off the Nexus in style. Jarvan reigns supreme, slaying the samurais of CIS.
And as an end result, we have worked out that Jarvan is in fact greater than Yasuo.
I want to see more Jarvan. That's what I've learned from this game. Jarvan, best all-for-one champion confirmed. What a game. That was absolutely fantastic.
We've also worked out that HredN was the worst Jarvan, and Dara was KSing because Seros and Evie were doing ridiculous amounts of damage.
Yeah, pretty much the same damage, actually.
Whereas,
almost 17k apiece.
And Kira Smurf wasn't grouping, but he did the most damage.
Yeah, Kira, he did third most damage.
He did alright.
He did alright.
He was getting focused.
And Zanzara, yeah.
He wasn't having a great time. Mind you, in that last fight, is there such thing as focus? That was... I wish the analyst desk could attempt to replay something like that and talk through it.
I think the final fight was the best one. I think that was the best representation of Jarvan versus Yasuo.
Absolute fiesta.
I want to watch that again. I'm sad that happened at the end because I think that was my favorite fight of the entire game.
I feel like they were just all walking around with their shakers, you know, just going off. Tambourines here and there. Destroying people's health. Jarvan. I didn't consider Jarvan.
Me neither.
And we went through most of this and we're like, Ryze will get played every game. Ryze looks great.
Yeah,
one
Ryze,
for all.
LeBlanc. Look at all these broken champions.
LeBlanc's insane.
Go back to the basics. Go back to the Jarvans.
So Ezreal lost to Zac as well. But Ezreal won against damage dealers. So we're kind of finding this cycle of things that are good and bad. Tanks beat carries, but carries of the better degree beat other carries. However, they lose the tanks. So now we're just in a circle, and it has begun.
It has. Where does Jarvan fit in that as well? Because both damage dealers and tanks, like against an Ezreal as well. Difficult to know, but we have more, of course, later in the tournament, so we'll see how it turns out. Let's check in with Hingers, though, who is standing by with LJL's Evie to hear more about that win.
Thank you, Pulse. First of all, congratulations on the win. And secondly, I want to ask you about the Jarvan pick. That wasn't kind of in the meta. How long ago did you decide to pick Jarvan for the one-for-alls?
今回の大会、ジャーバンっていうメタはまだ明らかになってない中、なぜジャーバンを選んだんですか？
まずそのツイッターでどのチャンピオンがいいかをフォロワーの皆さんに聞いてみたんですね。そうするとそのワン・フォー・オールの統計サイトっていうのを貼ってもらって、その中でジャーバン4が勝率が1位だったので、僕がみんなに これジャバン強いよどうかなって言ってみたらいいねってなってジャバンを使うことになりました。
Well, I asked our fans. I went on Twitter and said, what's strong in one for all? And it turns out, based on everyone's voting, Jarvan was the strongest, with the winning percentage very high. So we went with him.
So you just picked it off Twitter. That's amazing. Secondly, I want to ask as well about your 4-0 now in the group. Have you outperformed your expectations going into this tournament, do you think?
今回自分自身ここまで 4-0 っていう中で、ここまでいけるっていう自信はありました。
あんまり先のこと考えてなかったですけど、まあそこそこいい位置にはいけるのかなと思ったんですけど、まさか全勝できるとは思ってなかったですね。素直にすごい嬉しいです。
To be honest, I wasn't quite sure. I wasn't looking forward to all the games. I was taking one step at a time. To be honest, I'm very happy with how we performed, and at the same time, a little bit surprised.
Excellent stuff, yeah. And finally, the ice group still is wide open. I think Oceania can still qualify if they win their 1v1s, or Latin America South is still in it as well. If you had to pick an opponent going into the finals, who would it be out of the ice group?
今アイスチームの方がまだ1位チームが決まってない中、実際当たってほしい実際登ってほしい人相手として、誰が一番望みましいですか？
そうやっぱりロシアチームが上がってほしいなと思いますね。やっぱり WCS にも出たことがあるので、そういった強いメンバーとまた戦ってみたいと思います。
I would really like to see CIS come up to the ladder. Having been at WCS, I'd like to play against one of the world's best. So having them there would be great.
Excellent. Yeah, great response. Well, I look forward to seeing that potentially. Who knows what's going to happen in the rest of this crazy group. Thanks so much for your time. Best of luck in the rest of the tournament. And now it's time to throw it over to Sifa right now, who's going to break down what we just saw.
Thank you very much, Hangers. I have no idea what we just saw. But luckily, I have 3 people here who can help me sort this one out. So, Vedius, you were very adamant that Yasuo was the superior duelist here.
I was adamant, like, this is a free win for Yasuo. The Samurai is just going to come on in and dismantle this Jarvan because there's no way they're going to get out of laning phase. Like, Yasuo should have won the top lane, should have won the mid lane, 2v2 bottom. They'd already got it pushed in. I'm like, as long as Yasuo never groups up, they should out-duel the Jarvan. Not